Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Showboys podcast. We are your hosts, Pixel Nick, Chadwick III, and our aggressively mediocre producer, Dad.
Hello.
We'll start with you, Dad. How are you doing this evening?
I'm great. I'm feeling very aggressively mediocre tonight.
Good. Nothing less, nothing more.
That's
Just
right.
leave it right there at aggressively mediocre.
That's
Chad?
exactly.
I'm great. I'm here.
I like
Ready to talk
the
about whatever
wardrobe
we're talking about.
change. Wardrobe
Yeah,
change to the Zelda shirt.
Yeah, it was just tucked away in the corner over here, and I decided it's got to happen because I'm already roasting. It's so hot up here.
Yeah. I don't know how you would even think about. I couldn't even imagine putting a hoodie on in any climate right now,
especially in attic.
Yeah, I mean, I wear a hoodie pretty much all year round, including now.
That's wild.
Wow.
But in the house, this is like not the house up here, even though it is the house. It's like 900 degrees up here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Here's a cold boy.
Cold boy. I gotta have a hoodie. I have to sleep in a hoodie too, which makes it very complicated because that's where I'm at right now, is where my bed is, and it's just a cluster.
Oh, wow. You sleep up there? That's cozy.
I sleep up here. Yeah.
Wow.
It is cozy. Minus the 90-degree temperature.
You have a window unit up there or something?
No, I really thought about getting one a couple years ago, but I got like 3 fans rolling.
A window unit would be a good investment.
It definitely would be. Yeah, it definitely would be. But I don't know. I like sleeping with the window open too. So like by the time I get to bed, like 11 o'clock, open the window. There's a nice cool breeze coming in.
Yeah. You can get one of those like supercharged like window fans.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have 2 supercharged fans up here that blow right on the bed.
All right. Then you're good. You just like to be a hot boy.
Yeah, hot boy.
Warm boy, cozy boy.
Yeah. And I have a heated blanket, which you're not going to believe I actually put on as well. Even though it is 90 degrees up here, I still put
this time of year, July.
Yeah, this time of the year.
Wow.
Yeah. And at the fire department, I have one on my bed there too. It's always on. But I can at least, it's cool when I'm sleeping there because you can like jack the temperature down there.
I guess you have like extra heat resistance as a firefighter. Is that
that's
a good trait to have?
Wow, that's incredible.
I don't know what.
Actually.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I get a lot of weird looks at work because I always sleep with a hoodie and a heated blanket in the middle of the 90. Summer. Yeah.
You're like sleeping in the like where the trucks are, right by the engines.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm like one of the only people that wears like pajamas to bed. Like I just can't get behind the like just walking around in your boxers. It's just not for me, you know. And there are some guys that certainly should not be doing it to do it. So
you just get
behind it.
Do you got firefighter pajamas for the
No,
station?
I just have
little
like
fire trucks.
Yeah, I just have my normal outfit.
Yeah.
Just a hoodie and some sweatpants.
Well, that's a good update on your.
I don't know how we got on that tangent. You asked me how I was, and I just
your thermal acclimation. Just a warm boy.
Just opened up the floodgate, and there it is.
Yep. I mean, when you start talking about heated blankets and hoodies in the middle of summer, I mean, it's bound to draw attention. And now it's here.
It's here.
But we do need to shout out our top tier patrons: Tim B, Yusuf H, and Joe C. Thank you guys so much. And shout out our other lovely patrons as well. If you'd like to become a patron, head over to patreon.com/showboyspodcast and sign up. Got some perks, got some tiers. You can just give us money too. We're fine with that. Anything helps.
Hopefully not like crying tears.
Oh yeah, not those kind of tears. Tears.
Okay. Gotcha.
Tears. You know, that reminds me, there's this funny British dude on Instagram I watch, and he plays like 2 roles in his Instagram video. So like one side is the person taking the notes from the person that's inventing the English language. So he'll be like, we need a word for, and he would describe the definition. So something like tears, he'll be like, we need a word for what happens when when you produce like liquid from your eyeballs, and he'll be like tears. And then it's like, we need a word for the like ranking of things, tiers, but like spelled differently. And it's funny. He goes there, and there's so many like weird ones too in the English language. You're like, I never thought about that. That is really confusing.
Our language is so jacked.
Yeah, it really is. It's so funny though, because it's Like we're so used to it. So people are like, it's the
Yeah.
hardest language to learn. It's like, not really. Yeah. Like it's
Eh,
for me, you know?
if you
Well,
don't grow up
But if
with
you're
it,
coming, especially like Asian countries,
Oh yeah.
Asian countries trying to learn English is just, it just does not work.
It's
Does not
it's
work.
only when you like sit down and really analyze everything, like every single word, like
Yeah.
5 words that sound the same but they're spelled different and they're all
Spelled
different
different, yeah.
meanings.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh,
It's
what
absurd.
what did I learn?
Right.
Yeah, and there's rules for everything, but none of them like make sense. There's not like universal rules. Whereas like usually Asian languages and then like even Spanish, like there's rules, like
Right.
and they mostly stick to them. Ours is just like a
It's
complete
chaos.
broken.
Chaos.
It seems like you would think it's a giant dialect, which it might be, but I don't know. It's
all
just
slang.
messed up from the get go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All messed up.
Yeah, but yeah, he's funny. I enjoy that. It's slightly educational, but then also just hilarious because I'm like, yeah, if I had not just known that, just because I've always spoken it, that sounds painful. Sorry, everyone else.
Yeah.
English is
Come
hard.
here. Well, so I work at a like a warehouse where we ship and receive
Mhm.
cheese. And we have drivers that come in and they're all foreign. And a lot of them don't speak very good English or any at all. And it's no wonder. I mean, they
I
stumble
wouldn't
over
try.
everything. It's just they don't
Yeah, that's-
understand.
Even if they try, they're trying to remember like the rules, and then they're probably wrong. Like you just
Yeah,
get used to
yeah.
being wrong about the rules. Like, no, not quite. I see what you're doing there, but nope.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
And the
Yeah, that
reverse
seems
is true too.
problematic.
Like we can't talk, like if we learn like Spanish, for example, like we can't talk the same way. Like their words don't go together like ours. So
Correct.
it just sounds weird.
Because they
when you
actually have
say it.
structure.
Exactly. So like you're saying it opposite, even though you're saying
Mhm.
it like, okay, ideally this is the way it should flow, but it doesn't.
I'm still kind of hung up on the fact that you work somewhere that exclusively ships cheese of all things. It's just
Yeah.
cheese. You don't do anything else besides cheese. It's
Just
just straight
cheese.
cheese. Just
straight
cheesing
cheese.
it up.
Cheese,
Nothing
up,
else.
man.
Wow.
Are you guys a producer or like a middle?
We're a
like-
middleman, so they'll ship cheese to
Whoa.
us.
You're a cheese dealer.
We're
Yeah.
we cut it up, all different types of stuff. We cut it up, slice it up, package it, put it in a box, put it on a pallet, store it, and ship it out.
You literally just
Interesting.
described dealing cocaine at scale.
You
I mean-
did actually,
I
oddly
mean,
cut
I'm
it
not
up,
gonna
everything.
confirm
Put it-
nor deny the tie there.
That's hilarious. I didn't even think about that.
It's-
Yeah, you
it's
really
pretty
nailed
fun.
that one.
There's so much of it too. I mean,
What do you do again? Oh, just cheese.
It's
I
just
promise.
cheese.
Just
Yeah.
cheese.
just
Yeah,
cheese,
we're
man.
just-
Just cheese. I'm the
That's
cheese
cool.
So
guy.
interesting. So interesting. Do you get like a lot of free cheese?
No, they discount the cheese, which is nice. It's like,
The moldy stuff.
yeah, we're gonna throw this stuff away. All right, employees, we're gonna put this in the cooler for you guys. You can go ahead and pick through it. Don't have to pay for it. Just take it. So
You would think that you would like get some sort of free cheese at some point in your life.
we get a really sweet discount, like really sweet. It's not free.
Because my dad worked at like a cold storage facility, and I feel like I remember him always bringing crap home from there. That
Yeah.
like, I can't remember what the excuse was.
The discount is ridiculous. I mean, it should just be free, but it's not.
Yeah.
They got to show it on the book somewhere.
Yeah. You gotta keep track of it somehow. So,
Yeah, there has to be a transaction in there.
exactly.
Okay, we learned about where you work now. A little bit
There
more
you go.
about that. You may or may not deal cocaine, but you most likely deal cheese at scale, warehouses,
Lace
shipping.
cheese. Our
Mm,
cheese is the best.
I'm sure it's really addictive.
Can't even have just
Any-
one slice.
Yeah. Anyway, we're also giving away an OLED Switch when we hit 1,000 subs. So
Yep.
rake in the subs, Joe Cross, and we'll just give it to you. But if they're not all yours, then you're disqualified.
Right.
So
All 500 of them.
all 500 of them.
500 and some.
Some change.
Yep.
But anyway, tonight we're gonna have a nice laid back episode because Mike's not here to stress us all out.
And whip us back into
Yeah.
line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I'm on that duty, it's pretty free flowing.
It's pretty
and
lax.
aimless.
Yeah.
It's pretty lax. I'm not the driver that he is. That's okay. I think that's okay. We have a mix of topics here. I think Chad just always wants to talk about video games, so that's why we let him come on all the time. Because I've been playing some video games. I've also been watching some stuff, so we'll have a nice little catch up on that. But first, just yesterday, they did release the Emmy nominees for 2023, and I don't know. I was pretty interested in like the two like big top two, like the most nominated shows. One shows one I want to watch, and one shows one I just finished. So I figured we would cruise through that and try something new. We're gonna like toast or roast these shows. So no requirement to see them, Chad. So you get to sit here and just be like, "That sounds sweet," or
"That sounds stupid."
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. I will say the very first section is very spicy.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, you want to toss it up and we can toast and roast?
Let's do it. Okay, so first is best drama series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Number 1, Andor.
Oh.
Better Call Saul.
Okay.
The Crown.
Mm-hmm.
House of the Dragon. The Last of Us. Succession. The White Lotus. And Yellow Jackets.
The last two I'm less familiar with, but the first like 5 there were fresh off the press. I like those ones.
Yeah. I know the White Lotus looked somewhat interesting to me. Yellow Jackets, I think Mike's talked about at length.
About that. I'll talk about that a little bit.
And it might have been was it in our streaming service thing we did? Maybe not.
No.
I wanted it to be, but then I think we switched it out for something else.
Yeah. But the bangers here for us, at least, are probably Andor, House of the Dragon, and The Last of Us.
Yeah. Succession's up there for me because it's on my watch list. I really want to watch that show, and it stole the show this year with 27 nominations, followed by The Last of Us at 24.
Interesting.
I heard it's really, really good.
I heard it's really good too. It's just not my. I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea.
What's it even about?
It's basically about so I want to think of his name, but I can't. From oh man, he was Hannibal Lecter, pretty big actor. Anyways,
yeah.
It's about a fan. Basically, he built this company, giant mega company, and he's like on his way out, like dying, and it's his family, just kind of like his sons and everything, like kind of struggling for position or power in the company.
You're talking about the older guy, right?
Yeah.
Brian Cox?
Yes. He was in
Is
Troy.
he Hannibal? He's not Hannibal Lecter, is he?
Is it Brian Cox?
I don't think he's...
Let's Google Succession. Yeah, Brian Cox.
Huh.
It's got Kira Culkin, Jeremy Strong. It's got a whole gang of people in it.
Is he Hannibal Lecter?
Wasn't he?
No, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, Anthony.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
Brian Cox looked like him then.
He does
My bad.
look like him. I'll give you
I
that.
see a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, wrong guy.
He's been in a lot of
Wrong
stuff.
old guy.
Wrong
Yeah,
old guy.
Wait, then which one was in Troy? Now I'm really wondering.
That was... Let's look.
Troy. A lot of people.
I think
Heck,
it's Brian
not.
Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. Anyway, he's like dying, or they suspect him to die or retire from the company, and his kids like have either roles or don't have roles in the company.
He wasn't that.
Yeah. So
it's like modern day freaking House of the Dragon, basically.
kind of, yeah, actually, yeah, because they're all kind of pining for the throne.
Yeah.
And like Kira Culkin is like really good in it because he's kind of like the more eccentric, like wild, goofy son, and then he has like the super serious son who was in The Big Short.
So
was-
is that Macaulay Culkin's younger brother?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
He
he
looks
was
just
just
like
in.
him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He was great in Waco. I don't know if you guys ever watched Waco. He was phenomenal in that. And I just saw him in something. Black Mirror, the new season of Black Mirror. He's in an
Whoa.
episode of Black Mirror where he plays like a cult leader.
Interesting.
Yeah, perfect. I don't know. That must be like his role.
It
as
looks
being like a cult.
he looks the type. Let's just look
He
at
does. Yeah, it's like a heavy nod to Charles Manson and all that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Dang,
he was great in it.
he's
He's only in
40.
it briefly, but is
He
he
don't look
really?
it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I'd give him
interesting.
a max 35.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he looks in better shape than his brother does.
Well, his brother. Yeah, he decided to be the like more so movie TV star than his brother,
Yeah,
but he also wasn't he didn't get to be the child star that his brother was.
which
Pros
is
and
why he's
cons.
not as screwed up as his brother. Probably.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just picked up the torch. He was like, "Hey, I'll just do all the things my brother
like,
should have probably." ended
I
up
got
doing.
this. Let me take this.
Fine by me, bro. But yeah, it looks like a good show. But also, it's they're full hour length episodes. Really heavy stuff, lots of dialogue and HBO quality. But you got to sit down and watch it. I don't think it's a background show either. Like you kind of got to pay attention, and then
You
it
gotta
is
pay
kind of
attention.
slow. But it's on my watch list, and it's one I want to watch. So, and I feel like I don't know if that's like its last season or it's like that's its fifth or sixth season. I feel like,
It's been on for a little while, yeah.
yeah. But I was happy to see that one in there just because it gives me more reason to eventually watch it. But then I'm like, maybe I should actually watch The Sopranos instead because
Yeah, that. I gotta be honest with you, bro. That's got to be the route you go. Like it's crazy you haven't seen The Sopranos. Sopranos is so good. Now, let me preface this, and I always preface this with people that I tell to watch it. Is I grew up in an Italian American family, so there's a lot of stuff going on there that is very not the mob stuff, but just the Italian American portion of it is very reminiscent of my childhood. So I always preface that, but then every time that I get somebody that's not Italian American to watch it, they're like, "Yeah, it's phenomenal." I'm like, "Okay, well, yeah." I always have to say that.
I have a friend that
like
can
everyone loved it.
Yeah, I have a friend that can like recite the whole show, and like I'm
I'm
very
close.
familiar
Yeah,
with
I'm
like the
close.
quotes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, because Succession's like the same kind of watch in my mind. Like it's tons of dialogue, full hour long shows and episodes, and you got to pay attention. So that's why I was like, I started watching Succession. I was like, yeah, this is a similar feeling to how I felt when I started watching Sopranos. So I need to work on one of them.
Yeah. I think you should definitely do Sopranos. I think you'd love Sopranos, but
yeah, I just need to get into it.
It's one of those shows that, like, with a lot of shows where you just like have to get through the first season, and it's especially true with The Shield and The Sopranos, because like The Sopranos, like even their accents are different in season 2. Like a lot of stuff changes in season 2. Same with The Shield, like the police precinct in The Shield's totally different. It might be after the first episode. What'd you say?
Like for the better, though.
Oh,
like,
for the better. Yeah. For the better. Sopranos specifically, like the main character is like trying maybe too hard to do a New York accent in the first season, but then he kind of works it out and figures it out. But yeah, it's well worth. Yeah, dude, it's a top 5 show for me, no doubt.
Yeah, I'll get to it. Though second in nominations is The Last of Us with 24, and I was really happy to see that. And I just finished that. Did you watch that, Chad?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
And I was quite sad when it was over, because I was like, I really like this show. It was so well done.
It's so good, dude. I was just thinking about it because I was looking through these.
Fire
dude,
scene.
so good.
I was like,
yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, it's I think that there are, and then this goes back to the kind of difference between storytelling and TV shows and video games. I think some of those moments hit far harder in the video game. Specifically the cannibal story, the giraffe scene at the end of it hits way harder, I thought, in the video game. And it might just be because I knew that was coming already. Like if you played the game, you knew that was going to be coming. So, but that being said, we're always complaining that we want somebody to do a video game adaptation where they follow the freaking game, and they did that really to a T. There's added stuff in there, but the added stuff is actually good.
I like the added stuff.
Yeah,
I kept texting Mike. Yeah, I kept texting Mike. I was like, this wasn't in the game, right? Because it's been so long. I was like, I could easily forget it. But also some stuff I was like, this definitely wasn't in the game. But so good.
Yeah,
so good.
It's definitely good. The only one that I didn't necessarily, that was probably the weakest out of all of them for me, was the like female villain lady that ran the like group of renegades, and I can't remember what town because they switched the towns up from the game. So,
her.
You know who I'm
she
talking
ran
about?
the like resistance against the main like.
And she was looking for that,
group.
looking for that kid.
Yep. Yeah,
I like her actor, and like it was okay, but I know what they're going for. But yeah, that one wasn't. That was overshadowed. Like the like big story that was going on there is way overshadowed by like obviously what happens with the brothers.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see what they do with season 2. I can't wait to see people's reactions to season 2 as well, because we know the second game got absolutely slaughtered by majority of the fan base. So I can't wait to see what direction, if they change it. I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to change it in any big way. But,
and I don't know if all the episodes had this, but at least the last one had the like, explanation or like talk with like the
Game of Thrones style thing.
I think they just did it on the last episode, which was fine. But they're funny because they're just like, we just kind of like went with the video game on the last episode. I'm like, most of the series, but definitely on the last episode.
It's they did it for every episode. It's at the end of all the episodes, those little breakdowns. And I liked watching them because it was cool. And I think it's in the storyline with the brothers where they get like bombarded by all the zombies or walk or whatever they call them. I can't remember what are they called. Are they called zombies? They might be called zombies.
I don't know.
Those are different. Yeah, well, I know there's clickers and bloaters and all that. I can't remember what the base thing is called. Like the base, just normal.
Infected?
Yeah, they
infected.
Call them
infected. Maybe it's just infected.
And then they reference like the fungal like stuff that has a name. I forget what it is, but they reference that or the infected. Yeah,
cordyceps. So I didn't know that all those all the infected in that episode were actual people. Like I thought it was CGI, and I picked up on it when they showed like the filming of it at the end there, where they actually showed people running out of that hole that they come out of the ground. So there's a lot of good stuff in the show, and I'm so happy because it really was burning hot there when it was going. So I'm excited that people that don't play video games got to watch that story, because it's one of the best, if not the best story in video games.
Oh yeah, and it's just that, and they did it in the show too. Like they just captured the like, oh, here's a bright spot, but it's completely going to get stripped away from you with like 10 times worse feeling. And I don't know. I think they did like the whole Joel thing in the last episode made way more sense to me as a show than it did from the video game, because to me, watching it opposed to playing it really kind of showed how flippant, or like how one way or the other you could look at Joel in that situation. Because playing the game, it was more so like, oh yeah, I gotta get the fuck some shit up.
Yeah, you're on board. Yeah,
you're totally on board because you are that character and you were in that. But in the show, like you're watching it happen, so it's like, he's kind of a bad guy right now. Where that's way less apparent in the game, in my opinion. Because I didn't have that like internal conflict when I played it. I'm like, yeah, I get the point. Like you could have saved it, but when you're playing the game, you're like, no, this is what I'm doing. Like it's fine.
I mean, I definitely had that internal conflict, but it didn't come until like maybe a week after finishing the game.
Right.
Where I was like, dude, I think that I like turned into the villain at the end of that game. Like, you messed some stuff up.
I think any parent would have been like, I know that wasn't his kid,
right?
But he had been taking care of her for how long? And
Yeah.
I think struggled internally with, he knows that's not his daughter, but like he has that guilt from his daughter.
Yeah.
So he wants to take care of her. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, I was freaking cheering, man. Like, call me the villain. I would have
Yeah.
done the same thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think that's probably the route I would have taken as well. But playing the game before I had kids, I was like, yeah, dude, you're a monster.
I mean, it
like you
probably
just screwed
felt
over.
different.
You just screwed over the entire human race because you have a daughter daddy complex going on here.
Right?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I don't know. I think probably everyone can agree that macro level, like, yeah, that's probably the better choice, right? But definitely, like, as a parent, like, it, it's just no. Like,
Yeah.
sure, maybe we can do this a different way, like, not just go straight for the like harvester skull.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing about the game specifically is that through the entirety of the game with the notes that you're reading that it's not going to work, what they're going to do to her. So you're a little less leaning when you get there because you've read all this stuff where you're like, it's they've done this to other people, it's not going to work, they're just going to kill her and that's it. So
But I another thing you got to think of too, it's like, it's the apocalypse. Like, the world has gone to crap. So like, no one is going to think logically at this point.
right.
Like, every like thought of reason for the most part, no. You're
Oh, yeah,
not going to think straight.
Yeah, they're just jumping the gun for all he knew, and like, this isn't like the most well thought out plan. Like, from a parent's perspective, like, yes, but give me some good options. Don't give me no options and with a guaranteed poor outcome.
I think if he would have found the notes in the show, it might have felt a little different.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that they didn't throw in some of the notes or some way of explaining that. Yeah, there's a couple things that I felt were, and especially towards the end of the season, it felt a lot rushed from the game. Like we were like, once we got to episode, was it 9 episodes long?
9 episodes, yeah.
Once we got to like episode 8, I was like, dude, like this is, we're gonna have to start moving here if there's one more episode, you know. And I think they did the hospital scene in like a 3-minute rampage slow-mo thing, so that obviously it takes up a lot more time in the game because you're playing through it. But yeah, it was like I just felt like maybe 10 episodes they could have pushed it to 10 episodes and maybe slowed down on a couple things.
I like don't at all remember the brothers' town from the game.
You're talking the little brother and Joel's brothers. Yeah. So you go there, but you go there very brief. It's very brief because I think, and it's different in the show as well, because I think in the show, I'm trying to think, because I do remember thinking that it was different because she actually, in the game, Ellie runs away and you like go to try and find her. And I don't think that happened in the show. I think it all happened in the town, right?
Yep.
So that conversation where she's like talking about like him leaving her, that takes place off the town. She runs away and you like find her and then you get bombarded by like some sort of enemies. So that was different, yeah. But that entire sequence where she's like sitting in the room and they're having their conversation is nearly word for word from the game. I mean, almost spot on word for word from the game, which I thought was great. It's just the story around it and how you get there was different. So yeah, in the game, you go to the brothers' town, but I don't know that you're there for any extended amount of time. I think you're there for like a cutscene or
okay.
I don't even know if you take control of the character in the town, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't remember that at all. I do get, you like find her on the road, right? Like in the woods kind of later.
Yeah, she's in like a abandoned like street, like a cul-de-sac, I think, in one of the houses, and you're like trying to find her.
Yeah. Okay. And then at the end when they go back to that town and he like lies to her about all that. Was that in the game?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's how the game ends, is you're up on that hilltop and he lies to her about everything. And that's right where the game ends. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was insane. But that's a good point about the notes, because that's more apparent in the game. That
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not
There's a lot
shared
more. You
thing.
get a lot more context behind everything that's going on through the whole game. You get more context on the enemies and the infection and all that stuff.
And
Yeah.
And that's inherently going to be lost in a show. Like you're inherently going to lose some of that stuff because you can't have Joel like picking up a note and reading it all the time. But I could have used a little bit more, I don't know, a character explaining it to him, or the doctor explaining it to him, or the somebody explaining like, hey, we've done this before. It didn't really work.
At the beginning of like each episode, they should have like a note where it's just text to read.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the episode, right? Or at the end of the episode, just like one that's relevant for that way. And like you could pick it up through like kind of Easter eggs in the episode like that.
There was a show. What was it? Have you guys ever seen Jericho?
I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
Okay, so it's a phenomenal show. That's a whole different side tangent. I love Jericho. But at the beginning of every episode, there's a Morse code beep, and it actually tells you what's going to happen in the episode, like what the episode's going to be about. And if you don't know Morse, you just think it's the intro to the show. It's up with the logo Jericho, and you hear the Morse in the background.
That's cool.
So that's kind of cool. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need notes at the beginning or end to put that context in there.
For sure.
To make it not seem like it would have worked.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important for the first game. I think it's probably going to be less important for the second game because I think we're going to get all the context we need for everything that's going on in the second game, just the way it's set up.
I need to play that. It's on my PlayStation.
You definitely, I think you should probably definitely play it before you at least watch the second season of the show. Yeah.
We have time now. I feel like season 2 is going to be like a 2025 thing.
Yeah, for sure. And even then, it's probably going to be a part 1 of part 2 because I don't think they're going to fit it all into a single season. There's no way.
Good.
And if they do, it's going to be bad.
I want them to do more than just 2 seasons, but I also don't want them to like rush or like, I don't know, no filler. Just give me story and action. And
but the filler was good. We got exposition on like actual references from the game.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if they take that, and that's true, especially with the Bill story, which it was totally different in the game, that entire storyline. And I ended up loving. I mean, I love the way they did in the show.
The way they weaved it in was just. It was very well done.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. I do feel that we missed some stuff in those sections. Like we missed Bill and Ellie, which were hilarious in the game, bickering back and forth. We missed out on that entirely. We missed seeing the bloater there for the first time in the gymnasium. So there's things that I wish were there, but I do love what they did with Bill's story in the show. But I don't know if they can add filler. And if they do add filler to the second season, it's going to be at least 2, maybe 3 seasons worth to do the second game.
Now they just, I guess they could have stretched out this into probably like a 16 episode, 8 episode seasons. Right. But it's fine the way it was too. By the 8th episode, I think that's the episode where the cannibals, that whole show like that happened. I was like, there's only an episode left.
Yeah,
we're basically there.
Yeah, that's like, exactly what I thought. Because I was like, I wanted to see the giraffes. Like that's mandatory for that game. If you're gonna tell that story, the giraffes have to be there. And yeah, you're right. You get to that cannibal story, you're like, dude, we have to do like the giraffe scene. We have to do all this crap in one episode. It's gonna feel rushed, but once I got there and watched the episode, it doesn't really feel rushed. It's just in my head.
Yeah.
I thought they were rushing.
Cannibal was at 2 episodes though.
No, I don't think anything was any storyline was 2 episodes. I think it was 1. I think it's episode 8.
Well, okay. At the end of the episode beforehand is when they run into them at the campus. And then,
yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, they were so creepy.
Yeah, very, very, very.
That was all well done.
Very well done. Yeah, because that's another one where you didn't get really any context in the show. You just knew that they were cannibals, and you knew that they were holding her.
Yeah.
Well, and you didn't find out right away that they were.
Right.
They revealed it when they had Ellie.
Yeah, but they didn't show any of the like town inner workings or all that stuff. Them sitting down for dinner, or any of that.
They made it seem perfectly normal.
Yeah,
you know,
Too normal.
like just another community surviving the apocalypse. You know.
Yeah, so normal. Yeah, yeah. I think
Cool.
the way that story plays out in the game is kind of critical too, because you're playing both characters at the same time, where Ellie's trying to escape, Joel's trying to get through the blizzard to get back to Ellie, and it just works so perfect in the game.
So good.
And it would have been difficult probably to nail that in the show, but I think they did as good as they could have with what they had. So
yeah, it's making me want to watch it again.
Yeah, I need to go back
or play
get
it
back through it,
or play it. Yes, maybe both at the same time.
Yeah,
Whoa.
It'll help me get through the game.
Yeah, there you go.
So is this our winner for this section?
Let's hang on a second, because we
Hold on.
have to talk about another one. We have to talk about a couple more.
Sure.
We got Succession in there. Obviously, we talked about The Last of Us.
Well,
Andor.
I
at the top of it.
I can get Yellow Jackets out of the way real quick.
Yeah, that one's. Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
I mean, it's
So,
pretty
Yeah, I
good.
mean,
roast.
yeah, here, Yellow Jackets, White Lotus, and Succession in my eyes are the ones that don't belong on this list. That's not seeing any of those. So take that
Sure.
for what it's worth.
Yeah.
House of the Dragon, though.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, we got to talk about House of the Dragon. I mean,
Do it.
Well, what's interesting is that like House of the Dragon doesn't seem to have a lot of nominations anywhere else. So like same thing with Andor. Andor and House of the Dragon both just really get an entry in there in the best drama series, right? Whereas like The Last of Us and Succession and even White Lotus,
They're
at
all
number
over the
4,
place.
Yeah, all over the place. Succession has nominations in like every category, but they also have a very wide cast. But The Last of Us hits a lot of categories too. So,
yeah, I mean, so I just recently went back and rewatched all of House of the Dragon.
really?
I did very recently, within the last 2 weeks.
Holy crap.
And I wanted to know if it was just like excitement while we were watching it and doing the companion series. Like, did I really love it as much as I did?
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, yeah, I loved it. And I love it. I love it this time even more, because it's just like Game of Thrones, where you're picking up on different stuff on a second rewatch, right? Or third or fourth or fifth, if in my case.
I love that in a show.
Yeah. And that's what builds a good show. And that's what makes these shows so good. And there's a lot of shows that do that. It's not like obscure for them to do that, where you're picking up stuff. But I don't know, man. Just like the more I watch, because I was watching House of the Dragon and rewatching Game of Thrones at the same time, and like drawing parallels, I'm like, I think I like the characters in House of the Dragon more than I do the ones in Game of Thrones. And I love the characters in Game of Thrones. But Daemon is like top tier, maybe the top, my favorite character.
Or even Aegon.
All of them.
Older Aegon is awesome.
Yeah. And the eye patch dude, I can't remember. Aemond.
Is that Aemond?
Aemond. I think
it's Aegon.
Yeah, that's Aemond. Aegon's the king, the like drunk king to be.
Yeah.
His other brother. Yeah. So it's just dude, I can't wait for season 2 if we ever get it. If we ever get it.
We are gonna get it.
Yeah, at some point, I'm sure. But
I hope
2026 at this point.
Really? Man, that's sad.
Wow.
I think didn't it get delayed with the
Writer's strike?
Writer's strike? I think it did.
Well,
I think everybody got hit with that.
Don't want to sacrifice quality on that show.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'd rather you just wait, get whatever you're trying to get money, and just do it right.
I don't think it impacted Amazon and Rings of Power, though. I think they're okay.
Oh, jeez. Great.
They're okay because they're like, can't do any worse. Actually, they're like, we weren't actually, they didn't hire anyone in the guild, probably.
There are no writers. There were no writers.
Interns, college intern. Yeah, there were no writers. It was AI generated.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's interesting because that show is not even remotely nominated for anything, correct?
It is not at all.
Damn thing.
which is interesting. You would think they would pick up something, but I mean,
No.
I
maybe
would say
not.
the only thing is like just like the cinematography. Just
Yeah.
Just
It would
the
have
way
been
it looks.
it would have been great if they put it in like best comedy for how terrible it was. It's just so laughable. Best comedy
Ouch.
series.
Yeah, it's bad.
But the other one too that I want to point out, and I've only watched the first season of it, is Better Call Saul. And I don't think either of you have watched Breaking Bad, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's
So
gonna be our Throwback Thursday, apparently, at some point.
Yeah.
is it?
For me.
Okay. Yeah, I
'Cause
think
it'll be the one I haven't seen, because so far I've seen both Throwback Thursdays.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that'd be a good one for sure. Better Call Saul, the first season I thought was great. There was a lot of bringing back of characters that are obviously dead. This takes place before Breaking Bad, so there's characters in here that are
Right.
dead in Breaking Bad,
Mm.
and old characters from like the first season show up here. So I really want to get back to this. I hear
Interesting.
it's really, really good. I have several family members that watch it, said it was great, but I just never get around to watching shows. If I'm being
Just
honest.
something. There's something about that I couldn't get. I just don't have an interest in the way it looks.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
yeah.
I don't
Are you
know.
talking Breaking Bad or Better Call
No,
Saul
Better Call
specifically?
Saul.
Yeah, I think that if you watched Breaking Bad, that match would be lit because you
Yeah.
need to almost know that character from Breaking Bad to understand what they're doing with the show. And
That's
I think
probably
it
why
just
there's no pool.
right. And I think this was its final season. If I'm
Mm.
right, I think it's over. So
Hasn't been on forever.
it's like 6 seasons long. I think 5 or 6 seasons long. It might be
Wow.
longer than Breaking Bad. I'm not sure. I think Breaking Bad was 5 seasons.
5
So
seasons.
Hmm.
Dang.
I also saw I don't know if it's still on there, but there is like a Colombian version of Breaking Bad. And it is a total ripoff of Breaking Bad, obviously. Direct ripoff of it. And it's got some sciencey name to it. I can't remember what the name of it was, but the writer of Breaking Bad is actually on the show. So he actually did the show. So it's not necessarily a ripoff. It's just a Spanish version of the show.
Ah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Just a
You can see what the
rebrand.
name of it.
It's a reboot.
Yeah.
They rebooted
I
it.
really wanted to watch it because it just looks so. I mean, I just would love to go back and see if they did it like word for word out of Breaking Bad.
Was it in a different language?
It's in Spanish, yeah.
Okay.
The name of it is Metastasize, I think is how you say it. Came out in 2014. It's only 1 season, so obviously they didn't continue on with it.
They just did the whole arc in 1 season.
Yeah, but it's funny because it like the characters look similar. It's just really weird. Yeah,
The abridged Spanish version.
yeah.
That's
All right. So, just a couple roasts in this section, but mostly toasts.
Yeah.
House of the Dragon definitely in there, but not a lot of noms, right? That's a sad thing. Could have saw I thought House of the Dragon there'd be way more actor nominations in there.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not seeing them, but I did nothing jumped out to me. Because what's his face being the dying king? Like, good lord,
Dude, so good. Yeah. So I mean, that performance is phenomenal. Even on a second watch through, it's great.
And
So it's
Matt
shocking
Smith, what
that-
the heck?
Yeah, right. Leaving Matt Smith out in the dust.
He had a whole
I don't know.
episode where he said nothing, and it was like the best
Yeah, right.
thing he's ever done.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I looked at like the best actor in the drama series section, and I was like, there's like first off, there's like 4 characters from Succession, 3 or 4 characters
Right.
from Succession. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I think the right thing to do is give 1 per show, not multiple for the same show. That seems a little ridiculous.
Yeah, don't overload the category with like one show.
Right.
'Cause it's
right.
like, well, no, tell me who the best actor, who do you think Emmys is the best actor in this show, and then nominate that person. Don't
And then-
just like snowplow like 5 people out of there.
And then seeing that, I think the main character from Better Call Saul got a nomination in that category. Don't get me wrong, I think he's great, but he's not.
I mean, Moff Gideon.
No, not Moff Gideon. No, that's not the main character from Better Call Saul.
Isn't he in Better Call Saul?
He might be. Yeah, he might be in Better Call Saul. He probably is in Better Call Saul. Let me rephrase that. But I'm talking about Saul himself. And at least I think, maybe not. Let me double check this name. But to compare him to what's the king's name? Patty
Constantine.
Constantine. Yeah. Like to leave him out. Yeah, it is the main character, Saul. So I don't know, man. This is why I don't ever watch these freaking award shows. It's just like, whatever, dude.
I don't
just roast the Emmys.
These people are idiots. Yeah.
Boo. All right, next category.
So there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3.
We'll just do actor, actress,
4.
And then the supporters.
The best supporting actor. That's not the next one. Sorry.
No, let's do like.
So best actor in a drama series.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Jeff Bridges from The Old Man, Brian Cox from Succession, Kieran Culkin from Succession, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, our boy Pedro, and Jeremy Strong from Succession.
Yeah, but
so
come on, dude.
3 from Succession.
I would say I will toast to Kieran Culkin in that category, but I will roast his co-actors there. Brian Cox probably already has enough awards. Like just like you're just playing like an old guy that runs a expensive company. Like,
yeah,
come on, dude.
Yeah, it's
Kieran Culkin has the pop in that show for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna roast all 3 of them because I think it's ridiculous. Like I said, that there's 3 characters from a specific show in one category. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now, could I be wrong?
Do that.
Could I be wrong? Maybe they're all the best 3 actors of
all the shows.
But
no way,
on, bro.
No
There's
way.
no way. So, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to obviously toast Pedro's performance of Joel.
I'll toast to that.
Absolutely. Wasn't sold when loving Pedro with every being of my soul, wasn't sold on him playing Joel. Oh my gosh, that rhymed. It really,
that was so much.
It was so much rhyming that it like threw my brain through a freaking seizure or something.
You skip your brain skipped.
Start rapping.
Anyway, I was not sold on him playing the character, but I think he did a great job.
He killed it.
Jeff Bridges, love Jeff Bridges. Never even heard of the show, but I'll toast him just because I love him, and the show actually looks kind of cool.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I love Jeff Bridges, and I'll toast to him too.
And another thing, like with the Succession, like there's a huge cast, right, on that show because it's a huge family drama. And then you have The Last of Us. That's literally 2 people, right, the whole time, right? You have some supporting actors, but they're there for like an episode or 2. So, like, make some space. Like, just because you got a stacked series with just like 20 main cast members doesn't mean they get to flood out.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
a whole thing, whole category. Boo.
It's interesting that that's not a rule. But it should be one character from one show.
I thought it was.
Well, here's the other thing: is the top 2 nominated shows is The Succession and then The Last of Us. So 27 for Succession, 24 for The Last of Us. Only really 2 actors, and then your other main categories for The Last of Us. Meanwhile, most of those nominations for The Succession are these like 2 to 4 stacked sections.
Yeah.
Categories.
So you're double or tripling their actual numbers.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if The Last of Us hit more categories. I mean, they would have to, right? They would have to. Yeah. They're probably in every category, whereas Succession just really hit the actor and actresses probably like too hard.
Right. Yeah.
Boo. Still probably good show, but dang.
There's another category that has like four actors from Succession. I can't remember which one it was.
It is
best supporting
actor.
Yeah.
And so they have only one in best supporting actress. And
okay. Is it actor? It's knew it was either actor or actress. Yeah.
Dude, I'm like kind of like half watching this trailer for The Old Man.
Don't do it.
It does look pretty sweet.
It does, yeah.
On FX. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, I think we've
Next.
pretty much nailed that.
Yeah.
Nail that down. Okay, so best actress in a drama series, we've got Sharon Horgan from Bad Sisters. Melanie Linsky, Yellow Jackets. I think that's the girl that was in The Last of Us, the one that you don't like.
Yep.
Bella Ramsey from The Last of Us. Carrie Russell from The Diplomat. And Sarah Snook, not Schnook,
Schnook.
from Succession.
Chinook.
Schnook.
I would toast Handmaid's Tale.
Yes.
Bella Ramsey, of course. Like Joel, for you, I was not sold on her being Ellie, but
I wasn't either.
fantastic. Like everyone, like I heard everyone say, like they have great chemistry in that.
They
in that
do.
series.
They do. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
And
I
she-
definitely. Go ahead.
She really kind of grew into the role for me. Like at first, I wasn't like. I guess at first, like neither of them, I was really big on like the first like episode, but once they get going, like they both do a phenomenal job.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that she maybe plays too sharp or too in your face of an Ellie for me, just a little bit through certain section of this. She's really like that in the second game, not the first game. There are
Right.
moments in the first game where she's like that, but it's really in the second game where that kind of takes off. So there were certain points in the game where, or in the first season where I was like, okay, she's just like a little too in your face with some of the shit, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she did great. I'd definitely toast her. No,
I mean,
doubt.
she like kind of mellowed out like a little bit after, like maybe mid to the back end of it.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
But yeah, I was not totally convinced at first, but she grew on me the more I watched it, and I was like, yeah, really rooting for her. Let's do this. But who else?
Roast the rest.
Roast the
Just
rest.
because I haven't seen it
Yeah.
or heard of it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I do like the chick from Yellow Jackets. She's pretty good in that.
Was she also the one that was in The Last of Us?
I think so. Let me look her up real quick.
I like she has a very unique character that she plays. Like she's able to, I don't know what that persona is, but it's like school, like headmaster, kind of like
Yeah.
teacher that will like be nice to you, but then like just eviscerate you
Yeah.
in the coldest way for like
Yeah.
being out past curfew or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's her. I guess she
Yeah.
was in 2.5 Men.
Yep.
And anyway, yeah, she's pretty good in that. It's
I'll
crazy
toast
because
her. I like her.
yeah, I mean, because they show the younger girls because it's a group of girls that are in a soccer team. They crash in this weird place. They survive for like 16 months or something like that, and then they come back and they're like celebrities, not really celebrities, but everyone's going freaking out over them. And it shows them like 20 years later, so like there's 2 timelines going on, and it like the future of them are like really screwed up.
Oh.
I'm surprised. What's her face? I'm gonna have to look it up. But yeah, it's pretty weird, but I love it.
Is it a true story? I feel like that.
No,
it's not a true story.
No.
Wasn't there something like that, like a hockey team or something that crashed and survived?
I want to. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Christina Ricci's in this, and she like. Not only does she look amazing with curly blonde hair, she does pretty great at being a weird chick, and
Yeah.
it's very convincing. But yeah, I mean it's on what Showtime. I don't know if you guys have that, but
No,
It's-
that's an obscure one.
it's interesting. It's a fun watch. You know, what the heck? Why not?
Those, I don't know like who did it first. The earliest I've seen it is like in terms of like a primetime TV show is like This Is Us, right? My wife watches that, and they do the multiple timeline crap where
Mm-hmm.
they're showing things from different points in the same people's lives in the same episode. And it's all one big circular story, and it always ties off really nice at the end of the episode. But I can see more and more of that in like shows, and what you just kind of described, where they're like showing them in their past, but then simultaneously telling you a story of them in their future. That seems to be like a common trend lately.
They're not revealing what happened in the past.
Correct.
They've kind of like they've been building it up, like, and there's only they might be done with season 2 or almost done with season 2, but I've not watched it yet. It's pretty good.
Well, this would have been. I mean, you're saying that it's on, or they're making season 2 or season 2.
They're about to wrap. They're about to wrap it up, like showing it.
Oh, then one of these noms are probably for season 1 because 2020. I don't know. It depends on the cutoff. I don't know how all that works.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I have no idea.
Next section. We got supporting actor or comedy series.
What did we do? Best actress. We have best supporting actor. We've got F. Murray Abraham from The White Lotus, Nicholas Braun from Succession, Michael Imperioli from The White Lotus, Theo James from The White Lotus, Matthew McFadden from Succession, Alan Ruck from Succession, Will Sharp from White Lotus, Alexander Skarsgård from Succession.
Dude, it's literally all White Lotus in Succession. That's it.
I know.
You're telling me there's no supporting actor
from any other show
in House of the Dragon,
any
or
other
Better
show.
Call Saul, any other show, especially House of the Dragon and Better Call Saul. There are.
I believe that.
So absurd. But that being said, I have to toast Michael Imperioli. He plays a phenomenal character in The Sopranos. I love the actor, so I'm sure he's great in White Lotus. And then the rest of them screw off
know
as far
any
as I'm
of them.
concerned. Yeah, I've never even heard of any of them.
Supporting
Skarsgård, I have Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah, but that's I'm just gonna roast the Emmys for you.
Dude,
can't just
so bad.
This is terrible.
You can't have 8 people in a category and 4 be from one show and 4 be from the other.
No, it's absurd. Yeah, I don't know who made this list. Maybe they're on strike too.
That's
they had
the
to
thing,
pull people off the street.
They might be.
Why was no one from House of the Dragon put in there? Why no one from, I guess, none of the supporting people in like Handmaid's Tale are any good?
Right. There's so many freaking shows that could be on
like
this
Last of Us. I get there aren't really very many supporting actors in there. It's just the 2 of them.
Yeah, you can't put like the clicker in there, the gymnast clicker from the car.
You could.
You could. I mean, at this point, you picked 2 shows and picked actors out of 2 shows. You're telling me, so what constitutes like a supporting actor? Like, is Matt Smith a supporting actor in House of the Dragon?
I think it has to. It probably has to go by like paid, like how they're paid. Like the main paid actor, actress get those spots, and then.
So it's like an automatic. They're in. Are you talking about to be nominated?
No, like how do you get? He's asking like what constitutes a main actor versus like a supporting actor. So like in a show like, I mean, you can look at Succession as an example because everyone's been nominated. You know, we had Brian Cox, Kieran Culkin, and that other guy got in on the main actor nominations, and then these 4 got in on the supporting actor.
Okay.
I like to say they somehow have to break that out by paid, but because that lets the show kind of determine like their worth and like their place in the story, maybe. Because like you're right, like House of the Dragon, how would you do that? Like who's obviously the 2 girls, the 2 princesses, well not 2 the two chicks.
Oh
yeah.
But like the main family, I guess the second generation of kids, like all the younger Targaryens, like the kids, they would be the supporting actors. But like Patty Constantine, main actor, Matt Smith, main actor, the princess, the queen, I would say are main actors, actresses.
Yeah, I just like Yeah, I can't believe they looked at all these shows and just picked
I don't.
supporting actors from 2 of the category. They're like, it's absurd.
Just 2 shows. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
They're gonna pick like 2 winners for that category. Sheesh. Just let both shows win that category.
Right.
The next one isn't much better. I mean, there's a little bit more variety, but there's like it's still stacked with one show.
Supporting actresses.
Yeah.
What are the shows? Just tell us the shows.
White Lotus, The Crown.
How many times?
Well, let them go through it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
just
know
let them
what?
read it because this is going to be great. No, just read them.
The shows?
Just read the show. Yeah, just
Okay.
go down the list of shows.
The White Lotus, The Crown, The White Lotus, The White Lotus, The White Lotus, Better Call Saul, Succession, and The White Lotus. 5.
Well,
5.
the
Best
White Lotus.
supporting.
What are you doing?
It's
This
just
show
all
better be
supporting characters,
frickin'
apparently, bro. There's
amazing.
no mains. There's no main characters.
Who's the actress from Crown? I'll toast that.
Elizabeth Debicki.
She's
Oh, she's Princess Diana.
yeah, I was
Good
gonna
for
say I think she's Princess Diana. Yeah.
Right on. She was good in it. She made a good Princess Diana.
I was gonna say, like, I remember doing the graphics for our.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that looks just like Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the greatest thing about that show is like they get their outfits spot on. Like Google has all the images. If you ask like episode their outfits, they nail them all, and that's
Yeah.
like what drives
That's
it
really
home. Is
cool.
they don't deviate on the outfits they wear, and that's what really drives it home.
A
Because
true
it's just,
period piece.
yeah. Because you can look up the event that was in the show and then the real event that happened and dress it identical.
Wow, that's pretty thorough.
Yeah, even like the moments they recreate where like Princess Diana just steps out of the car on the street like randomly, so they have the right outfit on her.
Wow, that's wild. I mean, I guess if you're doing a show like that, it's probably mandatory. Yeah,
Yeah,
to at least get it as close as possible.
and they have the footage to do it. Like it's
Right.
all documented well enough that they know.
Yeah.
Because they know what the Queen wore in 1940 when she gave like her first, because they have a picture of it, even though it
Yeah.
was like over the radio, but they have all that information. But dang.
Dude, this trailer looks so stupid.
For what, the White Lotus?
Yeah. I don't even know what it's about.
It's like a freaking it's like a is it like a retreat
Yeah.
that these people go
Looks
to?
Like a
It's like a
vacation.
celebrity retreat, I think.
Yeah, I watched
don't
that
know.
show. It was in our March Madness bracket. It was called something else.
It was called something else.
Nine Perfect Strangers.
Yeah.
9 Perfect Strangers. Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I'm actually thinking of.
They weren't celebrities, but they were kind of like B-level celebrities and like athletes and stuff, and then just rich people. That's what 9 Perfect Strangers is.
Yeah, this looks stupid.
Yeah, they might not be celebrities, but they're like wealthy people. Let me rephrase that.
I think they're wealthy people. Yes.
Yeah, I think they're wealthy. Either way, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just whatever. Not my show. I guess it's somebody's show.
I don't even know why
because-
I'm reading about it. I don't even care.
Yeah, right.
It's still ridiculous. How did these people get on this list? All right. Let's move on.
Roast. Comedy,
Ro-
best comedy
roast them
series.
all. Best comedy. All right, sweet. We got Abbott Elementary,
Heard about it.
Barry,
Seen it.
The Bear,
Nope.
Jury Duty,
Watched it.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel,
March Madness told me it was good.
Yeah.
Only Murders in the Building,
March Madness also told me that was good.
Ted Lasso,
Same.
I think they
And-
told us that was bad, Ted Lasso.
and Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday burnt pretty bright there for a while.
With the younger kids.
Yeah.
That was definitely a younger generation show.
Yeah. Not my cup of tea. There's really not. We know if you've listened to the show at all that I just don't like comedies. Like I'm just
Right.
I rarely watch comedies.
Toast to Barry. Toast to Jury Duty. Jury Duty was quite interesting. It's on Amazon Prime. It's so good Lord, what was that dude in? They have an actor in there, like a man.
Yes, yeah, an actual, yeah.
So
what is his name?
Everyone in this show is about jury duty. Like all these people go to jury duty. Everyone, everything.
Cyclops and
he played in X-Men.
Yeah.
So he's in it, and then everyone is actors, but this random guy who thinks he got selected for jury duty does not know this. So it's like reality TV kind of on this guy.
It's like it's like The Office, but jury duty.
Kind of, except everyone's in on it except him. Okay. So like they like write up the script and they just hope they don't mess it up. So everyone's just real time acting and improv.
Oh, and you're telling me this other dude has no idea.
He has no idea. He's just a normal dude off the street.
Interesting. Okay.
He just thinks he's there for jury duty, and this weird shit keeps happening. And like they're filming it because he knows at least they're doing like a documentary on like what it's like to just to be in jury duty. So there's cameras and stuff, but they have tons of hidden cameras because he does not know this show's all about him and how he behaves.
Man. That's pretty interesting, to be honest with you.
It does.
Does he not recognize Cyclops?
He does.
Okay, he does.
Well, because they live in like Orange County or whatever, so like it isn't odd that an actor might have. So then there's the interaction with him when they're getting like selected and stuff. He's like, "Dude, you're like my favorite actor." And, like, it's funny. It goes through the motions. But the things they get away with is pretty insane. This guy he's just like so good natured. He just like rolls with it.
That's great, dude. That's such a cool premise for a show.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
It's like what was that? What was the like Jim Carrey movie where he was like they were recording his life?
Truman Show.
Truman Show. Yeah, Truman Show.
Very much like that. Yeah. Everyone's in on it, but it's Truman Show, but jury duty and one random guy out of Orange County.
That's hilarious.
That is pretty funny.
And there's a funny bit because at the end, like they reveal it to him, obviously, and then they kind of like talk about like because they have ideas for like how they can script it a little bit, but obviously he has to bite and he has to like it's gonna be you never know what's gonna happen. But when they were writing it, they were like, they had a bit where some actors would talk to him about like, oh, how do I get out of jury duty? So the one dude like asked him like how can I get out of this? And the dude just like I forget what it's from, but he was like, I think it was Family Guy or something. He's like, just tell me you're racist. And then the actor, he took the suggestion and like said it. And then he couldn't believe that this dude he thought he just told this guy and he was trying to use it. So it's just funny. And they were like, they showed them during that moment in like the back studio, like they were falling out of their chairs because they could not believe that like he went there with it. But it's not too unbelievable because it's from, it's a popular Family Guy reference. So
yeah,
right.
It's a funny shit.
I tested that too.
Premise alone, and then Cyclops just randomly being in it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the best part of it.
I'd probably toast the bear because it's got Lip from Shameless in it.
Yeah, it looks actually pretty good. I keep catching trailers of it.
I heard it's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Only Murders in the Building, I guess.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it. Next.
Move on.
Next. Keep going.
We probably don't know anybody from this next category.
What's the category?
Yeah,
Best actress in a comedy series.
Yeah. Skip it.
We've got Best actor
unless it's all White Lotus.
Unless it's all White Lotus.
We do have Christina Applegate though. She's in it. And the chick from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. But moving on. Best actor in a comedy series.
Or the shows.
Barry, Only Murders in the Building, Shrinking, Ted Lasso, and The Bear, which I think that's that dude.
Unbelievable.
Yep, that's him. Jeremy Allen White.
What's the next big like show category? So we got drama, comedy.
Best supporting actor, comedy, anthology series.
That's what.
Okay, yeah.
Go through that one. Yeah.
This will be a good one.
Because Obi-Wan Kenobi's somewhere in here.
Yeah, he's in this one.
Okay.
Beef, Dahmer, Daisy Jones and the Six, Fleischman is in Trouble, and Obi-Wan.
So let's rephrase this category. This is best limited or anthology, correct?
Limited series.
Best limited.
I was like, how the hell is Obi-Wan an anthology series?
Right.
Yes. So obviously, I loved Obi-Wan. I know a lot of people didn't. I wasn't one of those people. So toast to Obi-Wan for me, and definite toast for Dahmer. I think Dahmer was phenomenal.
This show got quite a bit of nominations too. Dahmer did.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good.
That's the one on Netflix.
Yeah,
I can't remember if we finished it.
Yeah, it's really good, man. Like that kid,
we got most
is a
of the
hell
way
of an
through
actor.
It.
Yeah, that guy is a hell of an actor.
He just looks creepy. Like,
he does.
From that picture that they have on, like when you're scrolling through Netflix and you see his face, you're like, oh,
he's yellow. Yeah.
Oh,
he's definitely. I will say that I felt like he towed the line of Napoleon Dynamite just a little too close to me in several of the scenes throughout the show. Like, I get that Dahmer was like a nerdy dude, like a awkward guy, but I don't think he was Napoleon Dynamite awkward. And it was very close, multiple scenes where I was like, that could have been right out of that movie, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really on the nose.
I don't know enough about Dahmer to really like agree or disagree to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have to watch the show because I bet everybody has picked up on it because I mean, it like stuck out like a sore thumb to me in multiple scenes.
And I think that's where some people had an issue with that show because it like almost lightened or like normalized Dahmer a little too much for people. Like those moments where it's like he's just like kind of being goofy, like almost like comedy goofy, like you said, Napoleon Dynamite style.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it did get some shade for that, but at the same time, like this is gonna sound screwed up, but if you read Dahmer's story, like he was a class clown, like that was what he was in school, so he was the goofball of the class. And I don't think it lightened any of it, dude. Like there's some dark shit in that show, man. I think if anything, they trimmed it down a little bit and didn't show some of the darker stuff. But I didn't feel like they were. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel like they were doing it to humanize them in any way. Like they still showed the stuff that most people know about, you know?
Yeah. I think knowing what he was and then seeing a different version of him is very weird anyway.
Yeah.
Like, because in his world, people saw him that way. Right. So like they wouldn't have guessed. So, I mean, it's hard to do that kind of thing about somebody when you know they're a monster and trying to show any other part of them. It's just going to feel off because you know that they're a monster.
Yeah. I mean, but if you look at every serial killer in history, they're all humans. Like they all had normal parts of their lives. You know what I mean? They didn't grow. They weren't immediate monsters. So yeah, I don't know. I hear that all the time where they're like, oh, they're making it normal to be a serial. I'm like, no, they're just telling the story of this dude, man.
They're just showing who he was.
Yeah, they're not normalizing it. Like there's literally a scene where he sits down and eats a piece of a human. They're not normalizing it. They didn't take out the dark stuff, you know? So,
well, think of like Hannibal, like the movies. They had to show his normal life. It wasn't trying to get us to like love him, even though it was Anthony Hopkins. I mean, it was hard not to like enjoy him in that. Yeah. It's a tricky one because you want to hate this person, but they're also showing him like as a 3-dimensional person. Like, why?
Right.
Why go through the trouble?
I don't know, man. There was a lot of stuff that I learned like from the show, like I don't know. I just felt like they weren't trying to make him this celebrity that everybody knows who Jeffrey Dahmer is. You don't need to do that. It wasn't like we never heard of this guy before. But I think it was very important to show his past life because there's a lot of screwed up crap that happened to him and that he did in his childhood that led him down the path that he was on, at the end there. So I don't know. Well, I love Dahmer. I thought it was great.
If you think of like Manhunter or Mindhunter, I'm sorry.
Mindhunter, yeah.
Where they go into the psychology of the criminal, the serial killer. Like that's important because they have to know what they're dealing with to be able to get them and to be able to prevent future incidences.
And that's what I feel a lot of the background stuff in this show were doing. They were showing the psychology of why he became the way he was. Yeah. Like there's a scene his dad used to like go pick up roadkill with him, and then he would like teach him how to like dissect the roadkill and bleach the bones and preserve the bones. And like that's an important part for this guy's later story where he started doing that to humans. That's a very important part. Was
that during the time where like they really like not were against, but like didn't really seek out like psychiatric help if you had mental disorders? So no wonder like all these people were messed up back in the day. They weren't like allowed to feel. Like you couldn't express any emotions. You
weren't a man if you were expressing it. Exactly. There's a lot of that. Even like still in the fire service, there's a lot of that where you're like not allowed to feel anything anymore. It's definitely getting better, but I don't know, man. I just thought knowing Dahmer's story prior to this, I had done a podcast episode before the show came out, so I knew the full story. I thought they did an awesome job with it.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I heard it did really well.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of nominations.
I'm trying to find like what the criteria is to be like a supporting actor or actress. And the only thing that comes up is this rules and procedures PDF that's 82 pages long. Is from the Emmys that apparently somewhere in here has my answer, and I'm not going to try and find it.
Put it in the Chat GPT and ask it to give you.
Actually, I should just ask Chat GPT like what the answer is. It knows. So it's kind of bugging me. Like,
so that's the one nice thing about AI is that you could dump something like that into it and ask it for like, hey, what are the 5 key points of this document?
Yeah,
that's boom, 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 boom.
That's true, but the problem with it is that it cannot differentiate truth from a lie on the internet. So if it finds enough of a specific lie, it'll put that in there. That's the one downside, and that's a big downside if you ask me.
Unless you get like an actual document from like the Emmys saying this is the criteria, then that could probably work. Right. But yeah, Chad, you're probably right. You are right. Well, there was something about like an AI tricked a CAPTCHA, like saying it wasn't a robot or something like that to get into an account. That's scary stuff, man.
This is a little bit of a side tangent, but I started watching a pod. His name's Sean Ryan. He's an ABC. He has a podcast. I've been watching like a bunch of his episodes, and he had a hacker on there. He's the #1 ethical hacker, and he hacks like predators. And he was showing like he had this like device, and Sean was like, what can you do with that? And he's like, well, here, I'll just show you this real quick. So he pulls it up and he's like tinkering with it. He's like, okay, look at your phone real quick. Look at your Wi-Fi. And he made like 7 duplications of his Wi-Fi. And he's like, those look normal to you, right? And he's like, yeah, they look totally normal. He's like, if you get on there, I got all your passwords and everything. He's like, and I just did that with this thing in like 2 minutes. Like,
Oh
oh
my
my gosh,
It's
dude.
it's Elliot from Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
It is, dude. It is. It really
That's
is.
crazy.
He is like a vigilante hacker. The
That's
episode's
awesome.
super. He's super awkward, obviously, because he's a hacker. But the episode is very, very, very good. If you're into that kind of stuff, he's like
That's actually really
the
cool.
first half of it is all about hacking and like how he does what he does and all that stuff, and then the second half is like actually catching the people. Yeah, it was super. I was like glued to my seat, but he did it in like, dude, it was literally like 15 seconds. He's like, yeah, I just made fake Wi-Fi. If you click on that thinking it's your Wi-Fi, I have all your passwords and everything on your phone. I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that easy, but
And like,
and he's like, what? Sean's like, what can you hack? And he's like, literally anything remote, like anything that you can think of that has a remote signal, I can hack, like garage door opener, anything. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, like I didn't realize that it was that easy. And he's got like this $120 little controller thing that he's using with these antennas on it. I'm like, what the hell?
that's wild.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
And I mean, you think about that, and then imagine what other people are doing. You know,
It's like the movies.
just like the movies.
Yeah. I mean, he was saying like with just that device, he could like hack airplanes, like all this crazy crap that he can hack with just this. And he had to be like, here, let me clarify. Don't go and buy this thing thinking that you're going to be able to do this. Like you have to have the knowledge. You have to have the software to put onto it. You have to have all this stuff. So he prefaced that before he said, yeah, pretty much you can hack everything with it.
Right?
It's just a tool. You got to have the skill.
Go ahead,
Right.
kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, there would be some more regulation around that, or just prohibit it if that was
You
the
would
case.
think, yeah,
if
you
Chad
would
can just
think.
buy one and do it
Yeah.
himself.
I'm pretty sure he said you could just buy them right on Amazon. Like it's not.
Yeah,
even,
but you still don't know how to, Chad.
no,
You
yeah,
don't-
I have no idea.
But you
Yeah,
do have
totally.
AI. It could probably help you.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe, because it does have some ethics.
If only I can
Does
plug it.
it?
Only if I could plug it into my Steam Deck, and then I can run like an emulator that just does it for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if it'll give me the recipe for a bomb.
Don't do that.
Why?
Hey, we're gonna hear a knock on Dad's door here in a couple minutes. We
Yeah,
heard
you're
you ask ChatGPT.
All right. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I take it back. Please
You're
don't
toast.
arrest me. I'm
You're
toasted.
done. You're
I'm
done.
roasted.
You're roasted, not
I just
toasted.
roasted myself.
Yep.
All right. Who else are we roasting or toasting? And
You done?
Obi-Wan?
Are we still going on Obi-Wan?
just because it's
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan.
For I guess that is a limited series. That makes sense. And the same thing.
It
I
is,
guess
yeah.
I didn't think of it that way, but it definitely is. I guess that is official. Anyone that thought there might be a season 2, Emmys have now decided it is only a limited series. Hopefully they don't
Yeah,
come
oh,
around.
yeah,
They're like,
good
yeah, actually
point.
there's a season 2. They're like, oh, dang it.
It sounds like Ewan is really pushing for a season 2, so I think that it's probably going to happen at some point if he's
They're
pushing
gonna have
for
to
it.
get back their trophy.
Yeah.
Or their award.
Yeah.
Take that.
Unfortunately, Black Mirror probably didn't come out quick enough to land on this category. I think it just came out like a month or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because that's like the ultimate, anthology series in my mind.
I hear a lot of good things about this most recent season. Is that just because there's been a lapse since the previous season?
There's
or
been
is
a
this season significantly-
there's been a substantial lapse, and I'm talking like maybe multiple years.
Yeah.
And the season prior to that only had 3 episodes, and they weren't really that great.
Okay.
So I think
hype is
people were
back.
thinking, I think people were thinking that it got canceled because it's literally probably been like 3 years since that season aired. The problem with Black Mirror is that people don't realize it's an anthology series. So they watch the first episode, and the first episode of Black Mirror is probably the most screwed up episode out of the entire show. And if you watch that, like you do a normal show where you start at episode 1, you're going to be like, what the hell am I watching?
That show needs a shuffle button because I tell the same, like anyone that's like, oh, I've been told about it, I'm like, just pick an like whatever episode someone's told you to watch, just go watch that. Don't like that's the one show where it's like when someone's like, oh dude, you have to watch this one episode, don't think you have to start at the beginning and get there. Just go watch that episode.
Right.
Just go watch
exactly.
the episode.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is the people that are coming in without somebody recommending the show to them are starting on that first episode. You
Oh,
know,
that episode's so good though.
I think that episode is actually really, really good. But for a outside person coming in, it's like,
What did I just watch?
What am I watching? And I'm trying to pull up the episode list here because that first season, man. Like, Dad, have you ever watched Black Mirror?
No.
Okay,
I've watched some episodes. I think I watched season 1 actually.
Dad, without a doubt, in my mind, you will love this show. You will absolutely, because it's, what was the show that you were really pushing for in the tournament? Severance. This is like Severance felt to me, that first episode felt like a Black Mirror episode.
Okay.
Now, granted, there are some hits and some misses. Obviously, it's an anthology series. So there are some misses in there, but as a whole, the first season, it's all tech stuff, really. I think majority of the episodes, there are definitely some episodes that don't have to do with tech, but most of them are tech. So you should just go watch it. I don't even know how to explain it. So it's such a hard show to explain.
Right here from techradar.com. Best Black Mirror episodes, top 10 ranked.
Yeah. Shut Up and Dance better be on there. Yeah, Shut Up and Dance better be on there, and maybe number 1, because that's like one of the wildest twists I have ever seen in anything in my life, is the twist in that episode. So Shut Up and Dance should be your first one. If you want to watch the first episode of the show, you can. I think it's a good episode. It's just don't think that speaks for the rest of the
watch
series,
the first episode and then watch whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus,
you should definitely.
Isn't she in like the prior season?
It's season 5.
The one actors in this season too. This
I've only
season,
watched
like a ton of other people.
Yeah, I've only watched Demon 79, which is the last episode, and then like half of Beyond the Sea, the one with Aaron Paul in it. So I haven't really got into it.
That's number 16 on Beyond the Sea. Or this Collider.
I can make you a lit. Like USS Callister was freaking phenomenal. Probably the best episode of the show, next to Shut Up and Dance. That first season. Is it first season? Shut Up and Dance? No. Second season.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah.
No. Third season. Oh my gosh. Third season. Okay.
15 Million Merits. That's episode 2, season 1. Has Daniel Kaluuya. He's basically in like, isn't he in like Get Out and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was early days. That's 2011. He was in that.
Yeah. So Dad, the first season, The Entire History of You is a phenomenal episode. So put that one on your list. The one I was talking about, Shut Up and Dance, with the really wild twist.
That's in season 3.
Season 3.
Episode
and it's only 52 minutes long. And keep in mind, it's an anthology series, so the whole story is told in that episode. And it's well worth the watch. Like, dude, that twist had me through a freaking loop. I could not believe it when we got there. Anyway, sorry. I don't even know why are we talking about Black Mirror all of a sudden. It's not even on the list of.
It's not.
Oh, because you wanted it to be, but it doesn't. Make
yeah.
And there's a gap in when the last season was, so it didn't even make it.
Right.
For this one, does Rick and Morty show up anywhere? Because I've been rewatching. It does.
Best animated.
Heck yeah.
I was just looking at it. Where is it?
I think season 6 is out, is the most recent season, but I've been rewatching 5 because I don't remember what I've seen and not seen. And the weird thing is I'm watching season 5 and I'm like, I'll watch an episode and be like, I've totally seen that. Then the next episode, I'll be like, I have not seen this. Every other episode I remember. I don't know what happened with my watching of season 5, but I only remember every other episode. So
yeah,
I'm hoping...
best animated program your Rick and Morty got on.
Right on.
Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons. I didn't even know The Simpsons was still going, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Will it ever end?
No love for the Japanese animation, huh? It's
No.
disappointing.
Very, because it's some of the best animated things that
It
exist
is.
on the earth.
Yeah, when it's compared to Bob's Burgers and The Simpsons, like how
I don't.
how
Yeah,
are
I
those
don't
even on
understand
there?
how this like
Well,
quality of cartoon is on this list.
Yeah,
well, historically, this category was created for like The Simpsons, South Park, and all that. So your primetime TV channel shows, right? Simpsons, Family Guy, that stuff. Whereas probably just by technicality, like Vinland Saga, any anime doesn't fit into like what they consider primetime television.
yeah,
For what it, but even though Netflix is all over in here, and
yeah. I was gonna say, right. Like
so
I think it's time.
it
It's
needs its
certainly
own
time for Bob's
category.
Burgers to be gone, and it's certainly time for The Simpsons to not be on this list anymore. I mean, come on, The Simpsons.
I mean, Family
like,
Guy
I'm
never had
sorry.
a chance. Like, I don't
No.
think they've ever been on. They should have been.
I mean, I'll be the first to admit that I hate those shows with every being in my soul. Like South Park, I can get down on every now and then, but very, very lightly. Family Guy, I've pretty much only watched the Star Wars episodes of Family Guy, so it's just like not my cup of tea. You know,
Yeah.
All
these
right, how about-
American comedy cartoons.
Do you know anything about Intergalactic?
No, I saw
No.
it on that list.
It's an album by Kid Cudi.
But it's a cartoon, and
By
it's an awful lot like Spider-Man.
Oh, you know what? I did see this.
Spider-Verse.
But it's
But-
like a love story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this.
But
the animation is
artwork-
spot on.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
it looks sweet.
yeah, spot on to Into the Spider-Verse for sure. But yeah, it's
Nice.
like I did see this because I think I saw the trailer on Netflix because it looked
what's the category
exactly like
called?
best animated
Animated
So
program.
program is probably what's fucking shit up, is because
You've
they're
got
not considered like Arcane, right? Like why wouldn't Arcane be in here at some point? Maybe it was, because
Right.
I know that was already way ago, but program, right? Something about the word program I feel like is like hitting
Has to be a-
technicality on a bunch of
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Because no Netflix animation is in here. All these shows are TV.
no, there's one.
programs.
Yeah,
You've
there's
got-
one Netflix.
you've got 2 Adult Swim shows on here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those, because they're, I guess I would say they're programmed
that's prime time.
television
Yeah,
program.
whatever.
This Jendi Tartek.
We're done with this. They don't have any
Kopsky.
anime, or not even like even they don't even have like fake American anime.
Right. Yeah.
They don't even have our knockoff anime.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what always irritates me about the stupid animated section in these award shows. It's like we're just ignoring
it's just
the
same
best
crap.
animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Simpsons, South Park, and Family Guy. Like nobody gives a shit about those shows anymore. I mean, maybe somebody does. Somebody's obviously still watching them if they're still on, I
Right.
guess. But
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Okay, Arcane won
It did win.
last year. Outstanding animated program. Arcane won.
just no love for the Japanese, apparently.
Yeah.
No.
We want American shows. This is an American award show.
So, do we want to go through any of the actors and actresses from the anthology series?
Yeah,
Is
no.
Ewan in there? McGregor? Then no.
Yeah, he is, I think.
He is?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Get it, McGregor. Obi-Wan,
I do not see it.
Meme Master.
Although there's 3 more Dahmers.
I mean, there's Succession's obviously on their way more than what we covered. I mean, you go dig out all the Succession nominations. But they also get down to like technical categories too,
like
so
writing and
yeah, because they do honor like way more. Obviously, all award shows do, but
Yeah.
the show itself never really pays much to like the writers and like the people that work on the shows. Usually they just spend their television time showing the actors and big stuff.
I was looking to see if there was a international animated section, but there's not. Because, like the movie awards will do best international film.
Mm-hmm.
They just lop in every
Emmys
film that's not American.
Best foreign language animated.
Yeah, best foreign
series.
language anime. And then it's just all anime.
Not to like say it. We don't want to say it because it'll confuse like the general public. You watching those Japanese cartoons?
Yes, I am.
So I actually, I have kind of a funny story to tell about that. I went and got my hair cut yesterday before vacation, and the guy that cuts my hair is a super anime nerd and very loud guy too, like just obnoxiously loud. And I had like literally all boomers in there getting our hair cut, and we are just loud to the point where everybody else in the room is silent, nerding out about anime. And you could just see it on everybody's face looking around like, we have no idea what these kids are talking about. Because we're talking like hardcore anime stuff.
Where do you get your haircut?
Great Clips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not like a barber shop or anything.
Right.
But
okay.
it's literally all old people. And they're just in their seats silent. And we're just nerding out about Demon Slayer and all this stuff.
Put them in their place.
It's literally, it was probably top 5 public conversations I've ever had in my life. Just it felt so good to just be like, just shut up with your boomer crap and let's talk about some anime. Nobody wants to hear about how you edge your lawn today. Okay, let's talk about some cool shit. I want to hear about samurai swords and shit. Okay,
and a lot of blood.
Do you always go to the same person?
I actually used to go to Great Clips all the time. They always screwed my hair up. And then this kid cut my hair one time and it was perfect. So I go back to him every single time. Plus we talk about anime the entire time.
Right.
So I mean,
yeah, it's a win-win.
That's awesome.
He's like the haircut version of Jakku is the way I.
Yes, exactly.
I picture this right now.
Yep, exactly.
Like, dude, I know you, but the YouTube version of you. Then you tell Jakku, I know the hairstylist version of him.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
You have to seek out your anime nerds.
Yep, exactly.
Chad, wherever they exist.
I find them wherever they're at.
Cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but I've been watching Rick and Morty. Finished The Last of Us. That's where I've been. Been playing video games, Chad?
Yeah, I have. And you're gonna laugh. You're going to laugh, and you're just going to have to be okay with it. It's just a recurring theme around here, but I have been playing Sekiro. And Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah.
Oh.
So
it's one of the, it's that time of the month.
It's that time. So, dude, it's Demon Slayer, man. It's Demon Slayer. It's like a heroin needle. Like I take that samurai heroin needle out, and then Demon Slayer just came out of left field and stuck it right back in my arm. And I'm like, oh, this stuff's so cool. And then I go like, oh, I should play Ghost of Tsushima. And then I play, it's just, it happens every time. I can't control it. It's like a nervous tick of mine.
You might as well stay on the
just a permanent samurai kick.
Until Assassin's Creed comes out next year. Like you might as well just stay in that pocket.
Yeah, I really
take
should.
like a 1 month break one more time this year and then right back into it.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the course of action through the entirety of the year is I have breaks from my samurai kick, and then I go right back to them. But, so I downloaded, obviously I beaten Sekiro 100 times. There's really not much for me to do in the game anymore. Like, it's to the point now where, like, the hardest boss in the game can't touch me. So it's not exactly fun anymore. So I figured out how to mod it on the Steam Deck, which was significantly easier than I thought it was. I was under the impression you couldn't mod games on the Steam Deck, but that's not true. So when we talk all the time, I love outfits. So I got a bunch of modded outfits that I got through that. But one of the biggest things I got is called Sekiro Resurrection. And it is a overhaul mod for the game that literally changes a ton of stuff. It adds in new items. It adds in new mini bosses. It reworks all the current bosses and changes their move sets completely.
Nice.
Genichiro, who you have not fought yet, Nick, you're about to get to that part in the game. He's the guy that, he's at the top of the castle. He's the guy that killed me 50 times in a row the first playthrough.
Man,
don't tell me that.
The base one now is so easy for me that I probably could do it with my eyes shut. So I put this, I do this, and I made a mistake of not going through the base game before I did this resurrection mod. I probably should have got my skills back a little bit. But I've been chipping away through it, and Genichiro killed me probably 45 times this time. So that's how difficult just this mod makes it. What'd you say?
And you're on the deck, right? You're playing.
And I'm on the deck. Yeah, I'm on the deck. So I finally gave up last night after probably 20 attempts, and I was just like, can't freaking do it, dude. I don't know. It's just the thing about Sekiro is once you learn the move sets of the bosses, they're easy because you know what's coming. You know what this changes that. So he's doing basically the same moves. There are some new moves in there, but basically the same moves, just in different orders. Well, that changes completely how you parry the attacks as they're coming in because they're coming in a different. I gave up after literally 20 tries last night. I was like, I'm done. It's like 10:30 at night. I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. Woke up this morning and beat him first try. So I just needed that like reset. I had to sleep on it. It's been fun, dude. And there's a lot of like funny stuff in there. There's a lot of like base enemies that they turned into mini bosses. So you'll get to like a certain point that was just like a base enemy and it's a mini boss. So
I picture that courtyard with like the samurai in the castle and then like the giant like ogre dude. I picture him being a mini boss now.
Yep. He's a mini boss. There's trying to think. I don't know where you're at. Did you go through the abandoned dungeon yet? Probably not. So there's a guy that has like a big bell. He's like a big ogre, not the mini boss ogre, but he's like a big dude. And he's got this bell on a rope that he attacks you with. He's a mini boss now. There was a wolf mini boss at one point. But yeah, it's just been super cool, dude. Like it changes the game. Yeah, it radically changes the game. Even though you're really going through the same areas, you're just not encountering the same things, which is what is cool about it. And it put my Sekiro skills in check for sure because I thought I was spot on with this game.
Well, base game you are.
Base game, yeah. Base game is a cakewalk compared to this.
Yeah.
And then there was another overhaul mod, and I can't remember the name of it. I think it's like Shadows Reflect or something like that. I tried that one, but I think the problem with it is you can't have any other mods going when you're doing this outside of like outfits. So I had like some other mod that completely like raised the enemy posture. So it was like impossible to kill the enemies in this mod. So I don't know if I redo it and put it back on there and take everything out. I might try that one too, because that's got the same thing, new enemies, new mini bosses, all that stuff. But yeah, it's cool because it feels like it feels like a brand new game, honestly.
But yeah, almost or like a sequel.
Sequel. Yeah,
it's like a Tears of the Kingdom, same map, but just
same map, different.
Everything's different.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It's definitely really cool. They added in a lot of stuff that I wish they would have added in the base game. Like when you kill a mini boss in this, you get an item that you can go and use where the training guy is in the dilapidated temple, and it will spawn that mini boss there and you can fight him. So you can fight any of the mini bosses again if you want to go back and fight them. So I was like, man, that's like such a cool thing they should have added in the base game.
I mean, you can always just die and keep fighting it. That's usually my technique.
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes.
Just die and die and die.
So I just got there's like a knight enemy in this game, and I just got to him before we came up here, and Yeah, he just barreled through me, bro. Like that guy never touches me in the base game, and he just absolutely decimated me. So
Wow.
That's so awesome.
yeah,
Now they just
It
need
looks so much fun.
It's-
Tsushima on the deck and a mod that actually puts stuff in the world. It makes it.
yeah, I'm patiently waiting for Ghost of Tsushima on the Steam Deck. It seems like it's inevitable, but it's not coming for whatever reason. I can't wait. Like that will be a day one pickup for me on the Steam Deck because like modded outfits, modded weapons, all that stuff. Like that's my jam, man. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the other thing with the Sekiro mod is it's like it's forcing me to use stuff that I never used before, like some of the prosthetic tools. Like there's it's called a Sabimaru. It's like a short sword that poisons the enemy. I never used that thing in the base game, but Genichiro in this mod is so freaking fast that there's like no room to work in any of your attacks. Like it's all deflecting, but his posture goes down so quickly when you build it up. So if you poison him and get his health down, then his posture doesn't recover so quickly. So it's like, fuck it. I don't know what else to do. So I'm just going to Oberyn Martell poison this dude.
Yeah.
And hope that works. And that's actually
Death by like
strategy.
1,000 pokes.
Yeah. That's like the strategy that I went with. I just poisoned him so I could get him down, and it ended up working. So yeah, it's been super cool. It's forcing me to use stuff I never used before and changing the game entirely, really. So
nice. But it has weapon durability, like it'll actually last.
Yes. Yeah, right.
It doesn't break after 5 hits.
There's actually an Elden Ring mod that is Tears of the Kingdom's durability that you can mod into Elden Ring. Yeah, I saw it on while I was looking at the Sekiro mods. I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
That sounds kind of terrible.
Yeah, I would, especially in Elden Ring, I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, a lot of those weapons you get are very difficult to acquire, let alone letting them break after 5 hits. Yeah.
I'll never understand that.
I got to use this stick now.
Yeah.
That's just no fun.
That's crazy. Cool.
That'd be like Assassin's Creed having that.
Oh.
I mean, there's certain games where like you get a lot of repeats of things, but like definitely the good stuff though. Like, come on.
I mean, there are games
you take it back to town and sell it and get money.
There are games that do it properly. I think The Witcher 3 does weapon durability very well. Just Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild don't, because your weapons break and they're gone forever. And in The Witcher, you just can't use, like, their damage plummets, and then you still have them. You can repair them back at town. That's the right way to do weapon durability, and make it like 250 hits, not 5 or 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll never.
That is a little silly.
No,
that they did it that way.
But it even as The Witcher that does it well, I think in my mind, it still annoys the shit out of me. Like it still annoys me when that little red thing pops up. It's like, your chest piece is red. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of the fight. Well, you want me to run away and repair it real quick? Like,
and that's always right when it happens too.
Yeah, always. So
and then it just creates another like chore to do in town. You have to like remember to always repair your stuff if you want to stay ahead of it.
Yeah.
And I guess in RPG, like I guess you're arguing like, do I need this mechanic? Because was it adding anything for me to like spend a measly amount of like gold to like just repair my stuff every time I'm in town?
Yeah.
Like at some point that becomes pointless.
Exactly. Right. Yep. The other thing that I want to talk about, and you already kind of pointed at it, but it does appear that Assassin's Creed Japan is coming out next year. Not official by any stretch of the imagination, but it was like a tweet by some dude that's trying to hire people for the game, said it's going to be the blockbuster of 2024. Fingers crossed. That's the release date. I think that's very early. We'll see.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting. And the most exciting part of it is in that thing, they said that they're doing like a full multimedia project around the game. So they're going to have like podcasts. They're going to have a manga series around the game too. I'm like, oh my God, dude, this like, they're speaking to me. Finally, Assassin's Creed is finally speaking to me.
Finally speaking your language.
Yeah. And dude, that game, if there's a game that can beat Ghost of Tsushima and Sekiro, it's probably Assassin's Creed, just based on sheer amount of content they pump into those games. as well as the like, I can't remember what it's called, the like tour mode.
Yeah, it's
where you just like live out the life of a normal dude in the world. I hope they do that. They've done it for all the other ones, so I can't imagine they're going to skip.
Talking
on
about
it
like the
from this
Discovery
one.
Tour.
Discovery Tour, yeah.
I mean, you're not living out normal life. You're just kind of playing as a character walking.
Yeah, that's
through.
what I mean. Yeah. In Valhalla, you actually like play out a storyline.
Oh, that's
with
cool.
that character. Yeah, you're
Okay.
not just walking. There's like multiple like 3 or 4 characters maybe, and you're actually playing out like a short story. No combat, obviously. There's no combat whatsoever. It's like the one dude's like a boat maker, and the other dude's like a king or something. And I can't remember.
Well, here's the other reason that you might as well stay on your samurai kick until that game comes out, because Sengoku Dynasty. And we're gonna get you to play that, Chad, on the Steam Deck.
It's the Japanese Valheim.
Yeah,
it is. Yes, I remember that. Was there a release date? Was there any release date on that?
Q3 this quarter.
Oh wow!
Somewhere in the next like 2 months. Yeah, it's near and dear. It'll be early access.
Is this just how PC games are? Like, we're already in Q3 and we don't have a date yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be early access release too, so they're probably just gonna like whenever they're kind of ready. Especially Steam games, like they just kind of drop sometimes. Steam is that because unlike gearing up the marketing machine for like retail, you know what I mean? Like the Steam community, you can just drop stuff, and once it catches, it lights up.
It goes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. We talked about, I wish that more game developers did that. Just drop their game. Like Grand Theft Auto 6 is what I'm thinking of. They just come out one day with a trailer. By the way, it's on the store. You can download it now. Like that would be the power move for Rockstar after making us wait all this time. You don't need to build hype for Grand Theft Auto. It's there. It's been there. It's going to continue to be there. Just drop it. Stealth drop Grand Theft Auto 6 and you will be in the news headlines for years to come, probably.
Ever.
Yeah, and that's what I like about some like parts of the gaming community, like the Steam community, and obviously like Grand Theft Auto fans and stuff, is it's like the music industry. Like there are certain artists that can like Beyonce can drop an album just out of the blue. Eminem can drop an album out of the blue, and like people are on it like wildfire. Like it does not matter. Because they're expecting
it. They're waiting for
They're not though sometimes. Like that's the other thing. It's just like, hey, guess what? You wake up one day, it's like, oh, that's what I'm doing today. So like imagine Grand Theft Auto came out tomorrow, like on Friday.
We're all calling off work.
Chad's like, wow, I know what I'm doing this weekend.
There goes my samurai kick.
We'd reschedule like all the rest of the like couple months of like podcasts. It would just all be Grand Theft Auto updates.
Yeah.
Like hands down, like I would drop everything I'm playing or watching and just be like, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Full price. I will let Chad play it like, because Chad will be able to play it like 8 hours before I'll be able to, maybe even a full day, and he'll tell me if it's broken or not. I'll think jump.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm spending like the full $80 they would charge for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rockstar does release broken games? Like, I can't think of anything they've ever released outside of the Grand Theft Auto trilogy remaster, which was not them that released it. It was a different studio that worked on that. So don't say that.
I don't know.
I can't think of anything they've ever released broken.
I mean, think about it like this. The game everyone's mad at them for never releasing up more content for is like one of the greatest games ever, and that's Red Dead 2. So they're like, everyone's mad because they stopped supporting it, but they didn't need to because it was done.
Yeah.
Outside of a few like soft patches probably that everything has.
Right.
Other than that, it was like, no.
Yeah, you just don't. Yeah, you don't get a Bethesda level of broken from Rockstar ever. And I can't even like off the top of my head think of any games that had any kind of like major glitches in them.
Mm-mm.
Like Grand Theft Auto 5 was pristine when it came out. Perfect. So
yeah, outside of like random like mission bugs, maybe like because there's always those where like just something doesn't like continuity doesn't work out right, but you can always like try back through it. I think there were some like side missions and stuff in 5, but like there's so much in the game and nothing's game breaking. That's for sure.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I mean they definitely know how to launch a working game.
Well, when you spend 20 years making it, I would.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you don't have an excuse to release a broken game. I agree.
Right.
I wish that, along with Red Dead 2, I wish they would have supported Grand Theft Auto 5 on a single player capacity like they did with 4, where they released multiple single player DLCs that were awesome, by the way, in 4. I was really waiting for those in 5, and there were even rumored, like, I think the voice actors even recorded stuff for them, and they just, I don't know if it is because Grand Theft Auto Online really took off, and they were like, well, we should probably shift over to this because this is really hot. But yeah, I was really hoping for some sort of story DLC for 5. Never came, though.
Yeah, they have a weird exception to the whole, like, what we would roast EA about in terms of like, oh, we're making a ton of money this way. Let's do just more of that. Rockstar, it's like, oh yeah, Grand Theft Auto Online took way off. We understand you're just going to make your money there. We get it. Or you're just going to re-release 5 10 times.
10 times, right.
And make all, probably a quarter what you initially made. We get it. But that's what happens when you make finished games. Like, go figure. Like, could you imagine?
Yeah. Imagine that. Also, so I have a funny story to tell about Ghost of Tsushima. So both boys are playing Ghost of Tsushima right now as well.
It's a tad violent.
And they know about my arrow quiver issue on the PS4. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've discussed it at length in this house. Everybody knows about the arrow quiver. So Brady starts playing it on
They remember
the PS4.
as that day.
They start playing it on the PS4, and I put it on for him and like loaded it up. I was like, sorry, Roman's playing on the PS5. You can play on here, but you're gonna have this stupid arrow quiver. I apologize. Move on with my life. Today, Brady's like, Dad, come here. I'm like, what? He's like, I gotta show you something. He's like, I figured out how to get the arrow quiver off. And I'm like, bro, I skimmed through that game everywhere to see how to remove that arrow quiver. It's not an option. Turns out they turned the PS4 version into the director's cut now. So it's got the Iki Island stuff. It's got the arrow quiver removal, all the stuff they added for free. Apparently it was just like a patch.
And you're just like, I made that happen.
They know it. They know. Because every time I bring it up, Brady's like, Dad, do you really think it was you? I was like, dude, it was me. Like it has to. They said the person, not the people, the person. I was doing it excessively.
The person on Twitter that would not leave us alone.
Had to be me. But it was cute because he was so excited. He thought he figured out how to do it. It just turned out it was just the patch on the game.
Like, oh no, that was my patch. Still me. Still me. Dang. Oh, whatever. I think I need to finish Iki Island. Did I finish that?
Yeah, I think you did finish Iki Island. I thought you did at least. I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah, I did. I finished the story. I didn't nearly complete it percentage achievement wise as the rest of the game. That's right. Well, that's fun. Yeah, we're just gonna keep you on a samurai kick. You won't mind.
No.
Well,
it's just that my whole world has been Demon Slayer lately because we're doing that companion series. I'm reading the manga. I'm like almost halfway through the manga. So it's hard. Anytime I see a samurai sword, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Let's go kill some people. Yeah, I'll just wait for Assassin's Creed Mirage and then Assassin's Creed Creed. I need to finish Sekiro this year. That's the other thing.
You do. That's why I actually, when you were asking about
promising, but when you tell me that the dude at the top of where I'm currently at is just going to kill me 100 times.
Oh yeah, he's going to whoop your ass, bro. I'm not going to lie. He's going to whoop your ass. Yeah, it's a no doubt. And I can't wait because you're probably going to think it's somebody else and you're going to text me and I'm going to have to tell you, no, it's not that person. It's the next person you're fighting because there's actually 2 really hard enemies up there. But
oh man.
Yeah, it's like it's a rite of passage to beat this guy. Like this is your first big hurdle. You have not. You may have personally, like I had. You probably have had several hurdles up until this point. but this is the actual first real hurdle.
The bull?
The bull. The
Dude,
bull. You let the bull whoop
mechanically,
you.
that fight is busted. Okay.
Yeah.
Mechanically, that fight is busted. It's like so dumb. It like I just
Did you
it's
not
just
follow my
ignorant.
guide? It's so
I
easy.
did. Like I just can't. I'm not smart. I can't use a controller apparently. And I think the most fun was the guy on the horse with the giant pole arm.
Yeah.
That was
super
the
fun.
most fun to overcome.
Figure out. Yeah.
I didn't necessarily like die the most on that. I died the most on the bull. The most fun to overcome was that fight because it actually had, like, in my mind, a more technical fight where the bull is
It
just like
does,
a raging ignorant piece of crap in my way. And it just I just get too angry when it comes to like
it's hard to
mechanics like that.
You have to be very patient in that bullfight, and it's hard to be patient because he's a freaking nightmare in a very small area. So it's very difficult to not freak the hell out.
Yeah, I just freak out the whole time and get angrier and freak more out. Like it's a bad setup.
I mean, you get through Genichiro, then you'll be on the path to beating the game. But that's your first skill check. Yeah.
I'll just fight that samurai. I'll farm that samurai dude some more before I go.
Yeah, I would. I would definitely. I mean, if you're following my walkthrough, you probably have everything that you need going up there. Like you have Makiri counter, you have the You
plus the other thing is I did a significant amount of farming whenever you suggested it, so like I kind of have a ton of crap. Like
right.
I like doing that, so I'm like well prepared.
And when I say like Genichiro whooped me 40 times in a row, it wasn't. I mean, he is very difficult. Don't get me wrong, but it was me. I had not learned the systems of the game yet. I had not learned the parry system was the way to go. I had just been blocking and hoping for the best, or Dark Soulsing it and trying to dodge through everything, which decimates you in this game. Like the game is literally designed
for parry
to punish Dark Souls players who are trying to dodge through stuff. That's what it's designed to do.
Yeah, that's what you have to do for the bullfight.
But yeah, not really. No, yeah, that's probably what you are doing because you're just in a pure panic when that thing's running through there. Yeah,
but you have to parry him.
Yeah, there are definitely boss exceptions to the rule as far as the dodging. There are a couple of bosses where it's easier to dodge, but yeah, I'm so excited for you to get to Genichiro. Oh my gosh, don't. Yeah. I almost don't want. I want you to fight him a little bit before you watch my walkthrough of Genichiro. Because I don't want my walkthrough to spoil a specific portion of it. So you should
get
try and beat him.
But the game is hard even with your walkthrough for me.
I know.
You just need to experience it before you
just need to experience Genichiro's fight. Yeah, you need to experience it because there is a twist, if you will, in the fight that I want you to experience on your own, because it'll be one of the biggest kick in the nuts that you'll ever get in your life, probably.
Fine.
And it's well worth experiencing it yourself, not watching it on a video first.
That'll be the next PlayStation game I play. Then I will get back into that when I am done playing my deck.
Yeah, I wish you had it on the deck, but you wouldn't be able to transfer your save and stuff over there.
Yeah, it's like $30. I considered it, but
yeah,
it's half off.
It went back up.
Oh, then
it's over.
$60.
Steam days are over.
Summer sales over.
I mean, that really shows the. Oh man, are those sales over? Because I was thinking about getting something on there.
I think it just ended yesterday.
I did pick up the Banner Saga trilogy because it was like ridiculously cheap. The thing about Sekiro on the deck is that it's probably not where you want to play. It's kind of difficult to play on the deck.
See, I was going to ask you if
it's well worth getting it on the PS4 or PS5.
Yeah, for first playthrough. When I play that game, like I don't want to have that. I don't have the deck in my hand. It's too precious for me. I rather have like a $50 controller than a $400 deck.
Yeah,
For
when you
$100
throw it
deck.
across the room, and
Yeah, no, yeah.
And
Oh,
this
that
would be
game's
the
so
game that,
infuriating.
that would be the game.
Ugh.
Dad, have you played any Dark Souls games? I can't remember.
I have not. I want to.
You haven't. Okay.
Just play Sekiro.
I really, I was looking at, I was gonna get it, but then
Yeah,
I saw
dude,
it jump
Sekiro's
back up in price. Is that the
It's funny
entry
because
into this?
No.
most people are going to
Like this
disagree with
style?
me. Most people are going to disagree with me. I believe it is. It was my first entry into the game
Okay.
or into the Souls like. And I'll be honest with you, after the punishment I went through on Sekiro, Dark Souls 3 was easy, Demon Souls was easy, Elden Ring was easy. So I don't know why the correlation is there because the combat is not even
It's
remotely
different.
the same. Totally
opposite.
different.
Yeah.
It's totally different. I don't know why that's a correlation. I don't know if it's just because I know how From Software designs bosses after playing Sekiro that I know what's coming in these games.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was not anything in Dark Souls 3 or Demon Souls that killed me like more than 3 times, probably. Even the hardest bosses in those games were like a cakewalk.
I would say the closest thing I've played was that Mortal Shell that I just got.
Yeah, Mortal Shell. Yeah, so that's a ripoff of Dark Souls games, right?
Yeah.
Combat, I think, is pretty similar to that. But Sekiro is very different. Sekiro, gameplay wise, is pristine versus the rolling into dodge thing is not my. I don't really like it all that much.
Do you feel like the weight of your weapon when you're fighting?
No. So the other thing about Dark Souls that annoys me is that where you feel like you're 900 pounds. Your weapon takes forever to swing, depending on what weapon you choose. Obviously, you can get quicker ones, but that's not in Sekiro. Sekiro is very quick once you get it down. That's kind of the downside to it, too, because you have to also parry very quickly.
You feel the parries. The timing.
Parries, yeah.
I think I'd like that better.
Yeah.
Than the slow,
I think you would too,
heavy. Because we were watching the PlayStation whatever
Showcase.
it was called.
Yeah, the
Showcase.
show. Yeah.
That samurai game where it's super fast. I think I would totally be all over a game like that.
Yeah,
you'll be all over Sekiro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Sekiro, you enter basically you go into like Matrix mode and like you just like hit the buttons the right way in the right time. Like it's so rewarding. You're like everything's dead because like, you just did it correctly, and because everything's just like fluidly perfect when you're doing things correctly.
It's a rhythm game through and through. It sounds weird to say out loud, but it's a rhythm game through and through.
I can get behind that though. That makes
really
sense.
Cool. Yeah. Once you get it down, man, it feels so good. And the funny thing about it is like base enemies at the beginning of the game, you can attack them like 10 times, they won't die, but one parry will open up a kill shot. So if you don't know that, you're just hitting this guy over and over and over and he won't die. But one tap of a parry as they're attacking you will open up a kill shot for you to kill them. So
that's sweet.
That, like I said, when I got to Genichiro, I did not have that in my head yet. I was still in the dodging and attacking mode. So Genichiro put that in my head because it's the only way you're going to get through it is to have that parry system down.
It's like you say it's like a rhythm game. It's like kind of like a dance. Like
it is.
You got to learn the moves.
It is.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah.
I like that.
They could probably like, if there was like a mod for that and they fed you like the rolling like Guitar Hero like keys to play, it's exactly that.
There's a mod that has like the parry timing, like a bar for the parry timing that shows you like when you should parry. And it's cool because it does look like a rhythm game as it's going down. It's just exactly what it is, man. It's exactly what it is. Like it feels weird to say a samurai game is a rhythm game, but it's 100%.
Yeah, that's sweet. Doing. I'm gonna have to buy that game. I'm about to be $60 in the hole.
Yeah, it's so funny that shows how good that game is. That it came out in 2019, I think. Still $60. Like that's crazy. That's Nintendo pricing.
Yeah,
Right.
it's Japanese pricing
Yeah.
essentially. Something's going on there. Yeah, because you can get. Well, I mean, Elden Ring's way newer, but like I feel like that one might hold up a little longer. But like, yeah, all your AAA games, like they drop 40, 30, 20, and then they kind of sit there after.
Especially when there's new games from the studio out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the older Assassin's Creed go down in price when a new Assassin's Creed is out.
Well, that's their model though, because like, but it's not like they're making another Sekiro anytime soon, and it's also not like there's like a better game like that on the market, right? It's like if you want to go play Sekiro, I mean, you just kind of got to go buy it, I guess.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Yeah, I don't, I in my soul think they're gonna make a Sekiro 2, but I know that it's probably not going to happen. But that being said, there is supposedly a Sekiro anime in the works right now, which sounds freaking awesome. Like I'm all on board for that. So I don't know. Maybe there's interest there. It does seem weird that a Japanese studio would not want to make a sequel to a Japanese style samurai game that they made that was phenomenal. So
yeah,
I don't know.
That is done so well
consistently. Right. And they're like cranking these games out too. They must be a much bigger studio than I thought they were, because Elden Ring just came out like a year, 2 years ago maybe, and we're already getting Armored Core 6 next month. Like that's really quick. So they were obviously working on them simultaneously. So
when you sell your games at full price forever, I mean, you got the money.
Yeah,
man.
There's also so the director, I don't know if he's like the game director, I think his name's Miyazaki. There's a mod that you can get that every time you die, instead of the kanji that pops up that says death, it's just a picture of him smiling. And I want so badly to get it because I think it's hilarious.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
An anime of that would be cool, because then like the character can die and then like get decimated by a boss.
Dude, I'll be honest, I think Sekiro is prime for an anime. I think a lot of the characters are very anime. I think a lot of the fights are very anime. I think it's a no-brainer. And they did a manga. I have it sitting. You probably can't see it, but I have it sitting back there. It's like a prequel manga to it that's really good. But yeah, I feel like I've always thought that. I always was like, dude, they should make a Sekiro anime. So it like supposedly somebody leaked it that it was in production, and it's like a respected leaker that's leaked several other things in the past. So
I mean, the intro scenes and everything are straight up anime like that.
Oh yeah.
That dude that kills you, like he's a straight up anime like prince. The girl is straight up like anime princess. Like that's the kind of mythos of it, like the snake, some of the bosses, or not bosses, yes, but like the mobs, like they're not all human necessarily. Like it's just it's cool.
It's just a cool world, man. Like it's just and it's funny because if you look at Ghost of Tsushima and Sekiro, and Jakku, I think, said this on his episode. He said like Sekiro is more historically accurate than Ghost of Tsushima is, which is wild to think when you look at him, because Sekiro has giant snakes and flaming bulls and all this crazy crap, and Ghost of Tsushima is seemingly a historical game about a incident in Japan. But when you look at the actual history of everything, like I think the katana wasn't invented for like another 100-200 years after Tsushima. The samurai on Tsushima just got swamped. Like it was not, there was no fight. So
yeah, they kind of shot themselves in the foot on just like core historical things that really breaks it out. It's more like just like a adaptation based on real events.
Yeah,
other than,
I mean, they wanted to make a samurai game and they wanted to do something different from all the other samurai games, so that's why they picked the time frame. I get it, and I don't know that it's ever specifically called a katana in Ghost of Tsushima. I don't think they ever say that word. I don't think it's shown anywhere. And the precursor to the katana, can't remember what it was called. It looks just like a katana. It's just called something different. And it was probably a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's not the right steel, like mixture and like
Yeah.
to get to an actual like katana.
When Sekiro first came out, I was like super interested in the historical side of it because the Ashina clan is actually a clan from history. So I got on like the Wikipedia page. I can't remember if I ever told the story, but it had like the members of the clan, and at the bottom it had Genichiro Ashina and Ishin Ashina, the grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy shit, they even used the historical names. No, it's Wikipedia. Somebody edited it, put it on there, and somebody took it as fact, and it's not on there anymore. It's like, damn, you got me. I thought first
got him.
Yep, you got me. And it said
That's
like
cool.
Genichiro, grandson to Ishin, grandson. I was like so official sounding.
Someone got you, and probably a bunch of other people, but that's okay. That's cool. Yeah. That's a cool way to get got, I guess.
It is.
That guy was real, obviously embellished, but real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. I've just been watching shows. I haven't actually been playing any video games, sadly enough.
What?
It's only been 2 weeks or a week since we talked about that crap. Right?
Oh, that's true. So nothing new.
Nothing new. Nothing new to report other than finishing Last of Us. That was my milestone, and randomly just getting on a Rick and Morty kick. I think because I was on Max. That's why. And
Max.
it was like,
yeah, I saw it on there. Yeah.
So I just feel like I just need to stay in like an HBO vein for a while and knock out some stuff on there because there's so much good stuff that's just like chilling on that platform.
Quit calling it HBO, bro. It's not
It's
HBO
Max.
anymore. Don't you ever say those 3 letters.
The app is Max. HBO makes the content for it.
I don't think that's true. I think they dumped it. Didn't they dump HBO?
Completely?
From the app.
Why?
It's because I think they wanted something for whatever reason. I think like
too many syllables.
No, I think probably like the feedback came in like people just relate HBO to like adult television at night.
It's so funny because it's like so
25
yeah, it's
years
like
ago.
so 1990s. Yeah,
it's 1995. You left HBO on past midnight, and now there's
and your son walked into the room, and
yeah. Sorry, like we're still that company. Don't mind.
Yeah,
but I mean,
We're
also,
Max
I mean,
now.
yeah, but the shows, I mean, they're not like that anymore. But the shows also were just straight up like boobs, sex, like that was their thing for a while. So I think it had something to do with shedding that 20-year, 30-year history of just being like a very adult oriented.
I think that you should hop on Vinland Saga season 2 and then let me know if I should watch it.
Oh, I got to do that for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's getting absurdly good reviews.
Oh, I thought it was absurdly bad reviews.
No, absurdly good reviews. Yeah, Demon Slayer's getting mediocre reviews.
Okay.
Oh,
but Vinland Saga, I don't know. Brady and I watched like 4 episodes of it, and I was
said it's supposed to be passive.
Like it's all about being passive. Yeah, and it's not necessarily what you want from a Viking anime.
Right.
You guys are like watching Demon Slayer, then you go to watch like passive version of Vinland Saga.
It was like, literally, yeah, it's like Thorfinn like
violence.
cutting trees down. He's like cutting trees down for the first 4 episodes.
That sounds awesome.
And he's like a depressed teenager now. Like it's really weird. It's really weird. So I don't know if it changes through. Hopefully we get some action, but
so that and not Sopranos.
No, you should definitely Sopranos all day. Yeah, just do them both. Just do them both.
Okay. At the same time.
Okay.
And play Sekiro while you're watching both of them at the same time.
Well, here's the thing: is like I do have a work trip coming up. So usually on the plane ride, I like crush like a bunch of shows and stuff. But now I have the Steam Deck, so I was like, am I gonna play video games on the plane now?
Yes,
that's a great idea.
You can actually. I'm not gonna say this is gonna work great on. You have Sekiro on the PS5, right?
Yeah.
You can set up. You can look it up, but you can set up PlayStation Remote Play on the.
But that won't work
Steam
if I'm
Deck.
not home, right?
It will work if you're not home. Yeah, a buddy of mine showed me at the fire department him playing his PS5. It definitely works. Will it work great on an airplane? probably not,
No.
but might be worth a try.
No, I got plenty of other things to play. The problem with the Steam Deck is like I got the right configuration for Battlefront 2, the 2005 one, and I played that game so much growing up that like I had all the because basically you rank up by completing like the achievements in the second one. So like I had the burst purple blaster change, and dude, that thing just annihilates because basically I can just like run and just like triple burst everything dies, and you don't start off with that. So I'm kind of like really have like this itch to be like I want to get back to like whatever god tier my PlayStation 2 Battlefront 2 had.
Yeah,
Something ridiculous. Like my stats on that game are off the charts because that's all I did was just played that game.
I think I thought about, I think the game that I was toying around on the sale was the Halo Master Chief Collection. I was like, it just got like a random itch to play Halo the other day.
That would be perfect on the deck because that's the right age to where it's now a mobile arcade game.
Right.
Handheld arcade game.
Yeah, so there were a couple games that were, which obviously I missed at this point because the sale's over. But I got Banner Saga, so I'm content that I at least picked something up in that sale.
Yeah, at least one thing.
Yeah.
Let me know if you have any issues running that first one. Because I had some issues.
Oh, yeah, you did. I remember.
And it's verified. Yeah. It's so weird.
Yeah, that is odd.
Weird.
I don't know that I've had issues running anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
like
get
even a heavily modded Sekiro is running phenomenally.
Yeah, I get weird things like the games don't boot right away the right way. Like they kind of like have a hard time booting for the first time, but then the second time is fine.
Interesting. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't think I've had that issue. I'm trying to think. I thought there was something with Dead Space 2, like initially, but I think it was like you had to like log in. So you had to like pull up the keyboard to log in or something stupid. That's why it's not verified. Which is literally so easy. It's like 2 buttons to pull up the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one. There's a lot of games that have one yellow mark, and it's you have to call the on-screen keyboard to. It even says like on the like main menu screen to type in.
Right.
Oh, look out.
Yeah. And then it's not very. I mean, I get it. They want it to be fired up and it's ready to go. But in my mind, that's pretty fired up and ready to go. Like you just have 2 buttons to press. Like, whoa. It's not like you have to go in and change a bunch of settings and make sure the setting is right. Yeah, Dad, how are you liking the Steam Deck?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yep.
He's playing it right now.
I might have it right now. I might have just made a purchase too.
What'd you get?
Sekiro? Oh,
you got Sekiro on the Steam Deck. Let's go.
We talked it up.
You talked it up so much. I mean, you've been talking it up so much like over the last year. So like
2, 3.
2, yeah.
2019.
I don't know how well it's gonna do with because like the one trackpad is the mouse.
Is it you use default key config on that?
Yeah.
It's the official.
Yeah, you can just use the button. I didn't change any of the configurations in Sekiro.
Crazy.
You won't need to use the mouse.
Crazy.
Dude.
Does that game use the bottom triggers?
You can put them on there if you want something back there.
But nothing by default.
Nothing by default. Not that I know of, at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing this for ever.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how you handle it on the Steam Deck.
I'm very excited.
I'm interested to hear his experience without following your guide.
Yeah.
Because that's all I think about as I thought, like now that I'm like at least well into the game enough, I'd be like, dude, I have no idea how I would approach this game without the guide. Like what?
Yeah.
What would I even be doing with my life? Just
There's just so much little stuff that if you didn't follow my guide, you would have had no idea it was there.
Yeah.
You would have walked right past
I still wouldn't know where to go.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't know what to do.
So I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was looking at Wolong. I don't know how you say it. Fallen Dynasty. It's supposed to have similar combat to Sekiro, parry system. It's Team Ninja's Sekiro is what everybody's calling it. So I'm like,
That's
oh
cool.
boy. But it's like ancient China, not necessarily my jam. Like it's probably close enough to Samurai, but not close enough for me to not notice that it's, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Team Ninja has Dark Souls games that are in feudal Japan called Neo. And I played the first Neo, and the second one was but I was like, I really want something with Sekiro's combat. And then I just ended up playing Sekiro again. So it kind of fell through, but
gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right.
Want to play Sekiro? Might as well just play Sekiro.
Just gotta do it.
Especially now that you got your fancy mod that just changes the game.
Yeah.
Sekiro 2.
Sweet. I got like a freaking white cloak, black mask, a freaking black sword with like purple lights on it that looks like it's bleeding. It's freaking sweet, dude. I love it. It's like basic stuff, like just a basic ninja outfit, which you'd feel like it would be so prime for that game. It's shocking they didn't put just a regular black ninja outfit in there. Brady to me the other day, I want to have him say this on the Demon Slayer episode, but I'll say it here. He says to me, he goes, "What if every country has ninjas, but the Japanese ninjas are just really, really bad? That's why we know about them." It's like,
oh wow!
I mean, you might be right. I don't know.
Big
brain Brady over there pulling out these
holy crap
philosophical questions.
American, we're American ninjas. They're not as great.
They're just so good. We don't know about them. They're so stealthy. We don't even know they exist.
Indian ninjas, Australian ninjas. You just don't know it. Indonesian ones,
Russian ninjas.
Mongolian versus Russian ninjas. Like, you just don't know they're up there.
That sounds like an awesome B horror movie.
Yikes. Off the deep end. Well, that's all I have.
That's all I have. I'm about to play some Sekiro.
Call it here. Dad's about to go play Sekiro. Chad's about to go play Sekiro. I should just go play Sekiro.
We should just all play Sekiro for the rest of the night.
I'll do it.
Mike would be so proud of us. We talked for 2.5 hours just to arrive at let's go play Sekiro.
Yeah.
With most of it being about Sekiro, I think.
Yeah.
Which it's okay.
And Dad, you spent a lot of money on Steam games in the past 2 weeks. I feel like between that sale and then you just doubled it by buying a $60 Sekiro.
Yeah, what are the odds that Dad wakes up tomorrow and just absolutely regrets his purchase of Sekiro?
You could probably return it if you wanted to.
Way too hard. I did see there was a speedrunner that was doing can I beat everything in Sekiro in enough time to get a Steam refund? I don't know what the Steam refund timing is. Is it like an hour?
Is it that short?
Yeah, it's based on your time played plus a little bit of how recent the purchase is. So I returned a game, but it was a hot 4 minutes. I was like, yo, I was like, take this back. So yeah, I wonder what the hard cap is where they would just be like, all right, dude, you've played 8 hours of this thing.
Yeah, this dude is he's a big speedrunner of all From Software games. I think he's moved on to Elden Ring now, but he did a ton of stuff with Sekiro. He beat it with a Dance Dance Revolution pad. He beat it with a first person mod. He beat it blindfolded, which seems just absolutely impossible in my mind, but it's the video's there of him doing it. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, he did the mods too. He did speed runs on both mods I was talking about. That's how I found out about him.
So he played it blindfolded, but he had someone else play with the controller.
Actually playing with the controller. No, I mean there are times where you can tell that he's lost. He's done probably 300 speed runs of Sekiro, so he knows it like the back of his hand. But you can tell there are points where he's getting off.
You could probably do that.
I mean, I was into speed running it originally just to get the different endings.
Yeah,
it's a very easy game to speed run.
Well, blindfolded though.
Not blind. I don't think they do it blindfolded. Yeah,
pull the bandana down.
Bandana folded.
Yeah. The thing about Sekiro for speedrunning is most people don't know this, you can really run past almost every enemy in the game. Like you really just have to fight the bosses. You don't really have to fight anything. Are you going to be wildly underpowered when you get to the end of the game? Yes, but you can do it. And if you're speed running, that's how most of them do it. They just run past everything. And then they obviously are so good at the game, they don't need to be worried about
super
being underpowered.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, Dad, let me know how your first foray in Sekiro goes. I'm so excited.
I'll send you a text tomorrow. I'll let you know.
That first boss, just get there, dude.
That first mini boss. Yeah, that's the one that forced me to return the game. Good luck.
I took a break.
Now you're talking it down.
I'm not talking it down. I'm not talking it down. I've said for a long time it's the most difficult game I've ever played.
He returned the game and then he
Bought
realized
it
it was the
again.
greatest thing ever and bought it again and then has mastered it since. So like,
Yeah,
it's special.
it is.
It is special.
Don't be discouraged to take a break from it though, and then come back and then just like
Dude, that's what you
savant it.
need. That's what I just did last night with the
Yeah.
Genichiro mod. I took a break and then I came back and whooped his ass. So
There you go. Just need a refresh.
yeah.
Yeah, I had a pretty substantial break between when I started it and then I was just like, dude, there's just no way. And then like it was like 2 weeks later that I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. Once you realize it's Spyro, yeah, you're good. It's adult Spyro.
Adult Spyro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like at the time, dude, there was no samurai. There was no good ninja / samurai games. That was it. So I tried it, failed miserably, returned it, and then it sat in the back of my head for 2 weeks. And I was like, fuck this.
It's calling you.
I've never returned a game because it was too difficult.
Too hard.
Yeah, like, come
bitch,
on.
am I? That is not me. What kind of example for my sons am I setting?
I don't raise quitters.
I don't raise quitters. I'm not a quitter. And on that note, peace out, Girl Scouts.
Mark my words. This time, 2 years from now, we will know where the aliens are from. We will know how long they've been here, what information we have on them. That's the 3 things we'll know 2 years from now.